Millennium Sports presents South Oak Cliff Golden Bears UIL 5A Division II State Semifinal Football as they meet the Argyle Eagles. Tonight's game is brought to you by Build-A-Berry Funeral Directors of Denton, Nelson Law Group PC of Flower Mound, Rodenbaughs of Allen and Ronald Rodenbaugh, the Athletic Department of Dallas ISD, the booklet Walking Through the Valley of Grief by author James C. Bivens, available now on Amazon, Joseph Paul Holmes of Fairview, and Harris Ratings Weekly of Corinth and Van Harris. Now, let's join Monty Walker, Justin White, and Jake Roberts at the new Crowley Stadium.
One game away. That's where we are. It's the high school football land of milk and honey. The South Oak Cliff Golden Bears are the defending state champions in Class 5A Division II, and they look to get back and defend what is rightly theirs. On the other hand, the Argyle Eagles are seeking to get back to the big dance for the first time since 2020, when they were the undefeated 4A Division I champion. It's a quick-paced, high-octane Argyle offense against the stingiest of stingy South Oak Cliff defense. Something has to give. But let's not forget the Golden Bears' 309-pound average offensive line. Strap on the seatbelt. This one's going to be a classic.
DeBerry Funeral Directors of Denton provide families with personal and professional services, keeping their wishes in the time of need. Our phones are answered 24 hours at 940-383-4200 by Bill DeBerry or another family funeral director. We are here for you. Call anytime at 940-383-4200. Details online at DeBerryFuneralDirectors.com.
Serving the Allen area since 1962, Rodenbaugh's Flooring America Kitchen Bed and Bath won't sell it if we can't service it. We have the names you trust: Whirlpool and KitchenAid appliances, plus Sealy and Tempur-Pedic mattresses, along with Whirlpool and Maytag washers and dryers. We finance and deliver. Our showroom is located at 102 West Main Street in Allen. Details online at rodenbaughs.com. You've got the hometown advantage with Rodenbaughs.
Nelson Law Group PC, located at 700 Parker Square, Suite 145 in Flower Mound, offers assistance with family, business law, and estate planning services. Attorney Brett Nelson has over 25 years' experience, and you can reach him at 972-808-7227 or online at nelsonlawgrouppc.com.
If you or a friend have experienced a significant life loss, get the booklet Walk Through the Valley of Grief by author James C. Bivens. This booklet shares biblical help and is written and designed to help you successfully deal with grief. Walk Through the Valley of Grief is available online at Amazon.com. That's Walk Through the Valley of Grief.
Well, welcome, Justin White, Monty Walker, along with Justin White and Lance Sandmillan. We are here in Crowley, and we're a pretty good ways away from either team, really. The South Oak Cliff tonight, South Oak Cliff Golden Bears, and we have the Argyle Eagles. They decided to meet way away from either place, not in the middle, and here we are south of Fort Worth. But we've got a great matchup tonight. It's the semifinals. It's Class 5A Division II semifinals between Argyle, 14-0. They went 6-0 in District 3 in Class 5A District 2, Division 2. South Oak Cliff, 11-3. They went 6-0 in 6-5A Division 2, but they've won 11 in a row. They started out 3 losses, Justin White, but we got to witness the South Oak Cliff magic a week ago, if you will, and they're pretty good.
This is a heavyweight matchup. There we are. We're on. This is a heavyweight matchup between these two ball clubs. It's the Final Four now. There's only 4 teams left before you go to the big dance next week at AT&T Stadium. But you talked about last week with South Oak Cliff. They went up against a big boy in Melissa and flexed their muscles defensively. offensively got the ground game going as they normally do. And they've got a tough one here tonight against Argyle, undefeated, as you talked about. South Oak Cliff lost their first 3 games, I believe, first 3 or 4 start of the season. But those were against larger schools, the DeSotos, the Duncanvilles, tougher competition to prepare them for games like this here tonight as they take on the undefeated Argyle Eagles.
You're in the Build-A-Berry Funeral Directors pregame show. We had a chance to talk to Coach Jason Todd a moment ago of South Oak Cliff. We'll let you listen to that. It's brought to you by South Oak Cliff Athletic Department. All right, I'm down here on the field with Coach Jason Todd of South Oak Cliff. Coach, you had a big game last week against Melissa. You rode your defense and your offensive line. How big of a win was that for you?
It was a good win because winning that game is the only way we could be here tonight. So, every win when you when you get to the playoffs is big.
And talk about this, how you got here. This is a long way away from both schools. How did you end up on this stadium?
I think we Coach mentioned it first. Then we kind of looked it up, and it was very neutral for both teams. So, it was a nice facility. And they said we were first on the book, so I said lock it in, let's get it.
So your team, what kind of practice have you had so far this week?
We had a great week of practice, the same way we had the entire playoffs. The kids were mentally locked in. It wasn't about the physical stuff during the week. The physical stuff needs to come out tonight. So it was a great week of practice.
You've had a chance to look at Argyle on film and such. What's it going to take to win tonight?
It's going to take us, first of all, winning up front on both sides of the ball. Also, we got to, convert on some big plays, and make those guys have the catches and run around and make those guys play 48 minutes. And number one thing for us is going to be not turning over the ball, no mistakes that hurt us.
All right, that was Coach Todd, and that's brought to you by South Oak Cliff Athletic Department. You're in the Build-A-Berry Funeral Directors pregame show. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back right after this.
Dallas ISD offers more school choice options than any other school or district in the city. Explore them all at dallasisd.org/discover. Your one-stop shop to browse and select the right opportunity for your child. The application deadline is January 31st, so visit dallasisd.org/discover and apply today. The choice is yours. Turn your kids' options into opportunities.
Since 1963, the Harris Ratings Weekly has provided Texas high school football coaches and fans complete rating services, including the power ratings for all UIL football teams, from 2A to 6A, with the top 10 rankings and the point differentials for each game each week. For more information, call Harris Ratings Weekly and Van Harris at 940-498-5176. That's 940-498-5176, and they're online at harrisratings.com. Harris Ratings Weekly, another proud supporter of Millennium Sports football broadcasts.
Welcome back to Crowley, Texas, their multi-sport facility, and it is a beautiful one. It is absolutely gorgeous, brand new. And Justin White, we had a chance to talk to Justin Rogers. By the way, you're in the Build-A-Berry Funeral Directors pregame show.
Todd Rogers.
What did I say?
You said Justin Rogers.
Did I say Justin Rogers? Well, Todd Rogers.
Interviewed by Justin White, yeah.
Yeah, I got brains going about 100 miles an hour here in South Fort Worth. So, yeah, we had a chance to talk to Todd Rogers. You did, actually, on the field. And pretty good interview. Let's let you listen to listen to that. It's Rodenbaugh Flooring America of Allen is who it's brought to you by. Monty Walker.
All right, Todd Rogers. I'm here with Argyle head coach Todd Rogers. Coach Rogers, you had a slugfest last week against Abilene Wiley. How's practice been this week preparing for South Oak Cliff?
Oh, it's been amazing. Our kids are just soldiers, and they've kind of taken over this football team, and we just got to give them a blueprint for success. And our game plans, practices were awesome, and obviously South Oak Cliff doesn't do very much, and what they do very well, so we were able to get the game plan and regurgitate it and practice it in all forms and fashion.
Your program continues to churn out championships the last several years, and you just kind of reload, even as you grow into each division. How do you reload each season, year in and year out, and compete for championships?
Well, in years past, we've moved up younger players and given them opportunities to contribute to the varsity in some form or fashion and gain valuable experience. And I really think that's kind of been the formula for our success, is they get a little taste of it, and then we train like the Dickens, like everybody else in the off season, and then throw them to the wolves and give them opportunities to help us.
What do you expect here with South Oak Cliff tonight?
I think a very tough physical football game. Obviously, the line of scrimmage is going to be very important. They have some very gifted and talented skill positions. I think if we can just keep them in check and just make it about rushing the ball and generating first downs, I think we'll be okay.
That's it. Eagles, Todd Rogers. Thanks, Coach.
Yes, that was the head coach of the Argyle Eagles, Todd Rogers, with that interview. Brought to you by Roden Balls Flooring America of Allen. We'll be back here in just a couple of minutes.
DeBerry Funeral Directors of Denton provide families with personal and professional services, keeping their wishes in the time of need. Our phones are answered 24 hours at 940-383-4200 by Bill DeBerry or another family funeral director. We are here for you. Call anytime at 940-383-4200. Details online at DeBerryFuneralDirectors.com.
Nelson Law Group PC of Flower Mound offers assistance with contract law, partnerships, and civil litigation. Brett Nelson is client-centered and maintains excellent communication to assist his clients best reaching their goals. Nelson Law can be reached at 972-808-7227 or online at nelsonlawgrouppc.com.
Founded in 2008, Joseph Paul Homes of Fairview, Texas, builds true luxury homes custom designed by Joseph Vastano. Joseph Paul Homes builds all the way from Preston Hollow to Salina, featuring a unique designer's touch in each new home. Details are available at josephpaulhomes.com and on the Joseph Paul Homes Facebook page. The Vastano family proudly supports our local youth in their academic, athletic, and extracurricular endeavors.
Welcome back to Crowley, Texas. It's actually Fort Worth, Texas, I think, is the official address here. But we are at Crowley Multisport Athletic Complex, which is absolutely gorgeous. You're in the Bill DeBerry Funeral Directors pregame show at South Oak Cliff and Argyle tonight, and it's going to be a great one. Let's talk about South Oak Cliff a little bit, Justin White. They won a week ago over Melissa. They used their ground game and used their defense to do so. William Little is he's a good quarterback for South Oak Cliff, but that's not really what they do. They depend on the running game of Javon Thomas, Tedrick Williams, and also Danny Green, who was the Dallas ISD Player of the Week, as Green racked up some big yardage a week ago, 213 yards a week ago, and 7.6 yards per carry. Danny Green, and they're going to want to try to stay on the ground and do it again tonight, I would imagine.
Yeah, I mean, they could, as far as passing the ball, I mean, none of their quarterbacks, they've worked about 3 quarterbacks in the season. None of them have over 1,000 yards passing. So, yeah, they rely on that, a lot of that run game, and they'll do the RPO thing, kind of slants across the middle, intermediate passing, just to kind of keep you honest. But they make a living on the ground, and they've been able to do it all season long using kind of a 3-headed monster with Tedrick Williams, Danny Green, Javon Thomas in that backfield.
Defensively, 3 picks a week ago. David Spruells, Abdul Muhammad, and Jaden Shelton each with a pick. All 3 were very important. And that, they rely, yes, on the defensive front, the big defensive front, but they also have tremendous athletes in that secondary, and they proved it last week. And Melissa likes to throw the football, and they've done it very well all season long. Not so much a week ago against South Oak Cliff.
Yeah, I think it's the pass rush. It starts up there up front with guys like Billy Walton on the defensive end, Cortland Kidd, even Keith Smith on the interior line. They kind of almost collapse the pocket on the quarterback, and then you get on the back end, you got these great defensive backs in Malik Muhammad, David Spruelis at the free safety spot, playing just aggressive defense. And a lot of it's just one-on-one coverage and just saying, hey, see if you can beat me one-on-one. Meanwhile, we're going to rush the passer with 4 guys and see what we can do and see what we can get by with. And, again, so far it's worked.
South Oak Cliff averages 34.7 points per game. They average 361 yards rushing, or yards per game, 256 of which are on the ground, 100 through the air. They've scored 486 points and given up 211. Their average score is 35-15. That's a win, 35-15. And we are in the semifinal contest here in Crowley, Texas. That's your South Oak Cliff scouting report brought to you by Dallas ISD. We're going to take a quick timeout. You're in the Build-A-Berry Funeral Directors pregame show. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
Dallas ISD offers more school choice options than any other school or district in the city. Explore them all at dallasisd.org/discover. Your one-stop shop to browse and select the right opportunity for your child. The application deadline is January 31st, so visit dallasisd.org/discover and apply today. The choice is yours. Turn your kids' options into opportunities.
Rodenbaugh's Flooring, America Kitchen Bed and Bath of Allen is your kitchen upgrade headquarters, featuring top-rated brands like Amana, KitchenAid, Maytag, and Whirlpool, and beautiful Cambria quartz countertops for the bedroom, Sealy, and Tempur-Pedic beds. A must-see. Rodenbaugh's Flooring such as hand-scraped hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and tile. Find details online at rodenbaughs.com or in our showroom at 102 West Main Street in Allen. You've got the hometown advantage with Rodenbaughs.
Welcome back. You're in the Build-A-Berry Funeral Directors pregame show. South Oak Cliff and Argyle tonight. It's a Class 5A Division II semifinal, and Justin White along with Monty Walker. Justin, let's talk about our Argyle, and let's give their scouting report, if you will.
Well, they come in undefeated on the season, 14-0, coached by head coach Todd Rogers. He's got a 235-39 win-loss record. Argyle comes in, and they're somewhat like South Oak Cliff offensively. They rely a lot on the ground game, but they're able to pass it a little bit more. It's probably about 60-40, 60% running the ball and 40% through the air. Averaging 246 yards on the ground, 167 through the air, 413 yards total offense, averaging 38 points per game. They're going to lean on that offensive line. They've got John Gailey, who is a kind of a dual-threat quarterback, and I think that's going to be a kind of a secret weapon that maybe Melissa didn't have last week with Trevor Ham. Trevor Ham wasn't, I don't think, as mobile. John Gailey, the quarterback for Argyle, he can run the ball, so he's going to be a dual threat. So that's one other weapon that South Oak Cliff is going to have to key in on. R.J. Bunnell, the senior running back, has over 1,500 yards. He's a good back. Defensively, they got D1 players just about each level. Riley Van Poppel is going to Nebraska, 6'5", 275-pound defensive end. The other bookend, Michael Madry, Boise State, 6'5", 260 pounds. So two huge bookends on that defensive line for Argyle. Then the middle linebacker, Grant Mirabal, going to Oklahoma State. And then in the strong safety, Dax Horney going to Sam Houston. So they got athletes. They got their fair share of Division I athletes on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, look out for the two-headed monster in the backfield tonight. R.J. Bunnell, he had 127 yards rushing a week ago. But you'll also get a big dose of Landon Ferris. Now, he didn't have the big game a week ago. He got 11 carries for 30 yards. But he does spell Bunnell quite a bit. And look for that two-headed monster in the backfield to try to take some of the load for Argyle. That scouting report for Argyle was brought to you by Rodenbaugh's Flooring of America in Allen. You're in the Build-A-Berry Funeral Directors pregame show. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back right after this.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Millennium Sports hopes you enjoy this presentation of Bright Lights Game of the Week football. If you or family, your business, school organization, or church would like to support your team's quest to be best and share history, then contact John Froh, president of Millennium Sports, at 214-642-7003 or email jmfro@att.net. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back. We are in Crowley, Texas, or Fort Worth, Texas. We're at Crowley Multisport Complex. Beautiful, beautiful place here. Brand new, as we mentioned. We're way up high in the press box. Brand new turf, obviously. And, boy, this, it's a $40 million complex. And we talked to some Argyle people a moment ago on their way up in the elevator. And they said, some of our people were looking at this because the same construction crew is going to build one of these in Argyle.
Wow.
But they said they've only got $30 million to spend. So they were talking about maybe we only have one elevator instead of two.
Yeah, what can they do? Is it maybe just one deck instead of two as well, instead of the double-decker they have here?
Yeah, it's pretty steep, too. It's a steep pitch looking down to the field. So, but a beautiful, just beautiful facility. Here in the Build-A-Berry Funeral Directors pregame show. We'll give you the starting lineups. I'll go over South Oak Cliff first. On offense for the Golden Bears, up front, left tackle Norda Stoker, 6'6", 305-pound senior. He's headed to SMU. The left guard, 6'5", 350-pound senior Breon Ramsey Brooks. He's headed to TCU. The center, 6'2", 300 senior Nehemiah Dewberry. The right guard is Jaden Rowe. He's 6'2", 295, and a junior. And the right tackle, Jordan Rowe, 6'2", 295-pound junior. That offensive line weighs 1,545 pounds of beef. That's 309 pounds per player. That is intense. Your wideout is Jamari Cawley, 6'2", 210-pound junior, 18 catches, 294 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He averages 16.3 yards per catch. On the other side, Trey Jackson, 5 catches, 48 yards. He's 6'5", 200. He's a junior. He's got 5 touchdowns through the air, 9.6 yards per catch. At times, he'll be spelled by Joshua Manley, 5'8", 180, and a senior. He's caught 15 balls for 252 and 2 touchdowns, and he has caught 16.8 yards per catch. Slot receiver Ricky Evans, 5'10", 180-pound junior. You'll also see Davion Ennis, 5'9", 165 junior, 5 catches, 76 yards and a touchdown. The halfback tonight, Tedrick Williams, 161 yards, 161 carries, 1,022 yards, 10 touchdowns. He averages 6.3 yards per carry. He's also caught 8 balls for 75 yards. He'll be spelled, obviously, by the player of the week, who got the start last week, is Danny Green, 135 carries, 1,005 yards, 11 touchdowns on the ground. He averages 7.4 yards per touch. He's 5'9", 165, and a junior. You'll also see Javon Thomas, who's headed to Texas A&M. 26 carries, 349 yards on the season, 4 touchdowns, 13.4 yards per carry. He's also caught 2 balls for 5 yards. He's 6'1", 185, and a senior. Slot receiver Randy Reese, headed to SMU. 22 catches, 144 yards, and 1 touchdown, 6.5 yards per catch, which is small. He's rushed 4 times for 14 yards, which is 3.35 per carry. And he's going to be spelled at times by Corinthian Coleman, who makes big catches. That's all he does is make big catches. 19 catches of them. 325 yards, 1 touchdown, 17 yards per catch. He's 5'8", 160, and a senior. That's your starting offense for South Oak Cliff.
All right, let's go to the starting defense for the Argyle Eagles. Defensive coordinator is Daniel Lundy for the Eagles defense. On the defensive line, we talked earlier, Riley Van Poppel one of the defensive tackles. He's going to Nebraska, 6'5", 275 pounds. He's got 72 tackles and 10 sacks on the season. The other defensive tackle is Hunter Sandifer, 69 tackles and a sack. He's 5'10", 215-pound senior. The other defensive end going to the Boise State Broncos, Michael Madry, 6'5", 260 pounds. He's 77 tackles and 8 sacks. You'll see Logan Gregory at times, a 6', 240-pound junior, also a defensive tackle with 35 tackles and 1 sack. Outside linebackers, Caden Yates, you hear his name a lot, 6'2", 200-pound senior, 84 tackles, 9 sacks on the season. Bud Petter, the other linebacker, 5'10", 180-pound junior, 97 tackles, 15 tackles for a loss, and 3 sacks. At the same linebacker, Devin Owen, 68 tackles, an interception, and 1 sack. He's a 6', 190-pound linebacker. Going to Oklahoma State, Grant Mirabal at 6'1", 230 pounds, 120 tackles, 2 sacks on the season. He's playing that middle linebacker spot. In the secondary, a 6'2", 200-pound senior, Jaquan Felton, 56 tackles and 5 interceptions. The other cornerback is Parker Phillips, 5'9", 160-pound senior. The safeties, Trey Batson. He's a 5'11", 170-pound senior with 35 tackles, an interception, 2 fumble recoveries. And then going to Sam Houston State, Dex Horney, a 6'1", 190-pound senior, 96 tackles, 2 interceptions on the season. 9 seniors on this defensive unit. 9 seniors and 2 juniors. And that's the starting defensive lineup for the Argyle Eagles.
You're in the Build-A-Berry Funeral Directors pregame show. Let's go over the South Oak Cliff defense. As that crowd mic's really loud. The defense only gives up 99.14 yards per game and has 6 fumble recoveries. They only allow 3.1 yards per carry, 9 touchdowns. So I'm telling you what, this defense is pretty dang good. Mm-hmm. And up front, it starts with Billy Walton, the 6'4", 240-pound senior defensive end. He has 95 tackles and 16 sacks. He also has 2 interceptions from the defensive end position. Up front, the defensive tackle, Cortland Kidd, 5'10", 280-pound senior, 72 tackles and 6 sacks. Defensive tackle, Keith Smith, 71 tackles, 10 sacks. He's 6'3", 285 and a senior. The defensive end on the flip side is Jahatton Edwards, 41 tackles, 2 sacks, 6'2", 200-pound senior. The linebackers, Abdul Muhammad, 64 tackles. He's headed to SMU, 5'9", 180-pound senior. He's got 2 fumble recoveries and 3 interceptions to boot. The middle linebacker, Brandon Jones, 6', 190-pound senior, leads the team in tackles with 183. He also has 6 sacks on the season. The outside linebacker, Dylan Brown Turner, 6'1", 205 senior, 105 tackles, 1 sack, 1 interception. He'll be spelled at times by Jaden Shelton, who had a big interception a week ago. 6', 200-pound sophomore with 46 tackles and 2 sacks to go with that 1 pick. Your cornerbacks tonight for South Oak Cliff, Jamarian Clark, 6', 170-pound senior, 31 tackles and 2 interceptions. On the other side, headed to the University of Texas, Malik Muhammad, 6'1", 180-pound senior, 51 tackles, 1 interception, and 1 fumble recovery. Your starting strong safety tonight is Taylor Starling, headed to Colorado. We'll see if he's still headed to Colorado since prime time. Maybe adjusting the starting lineups up there and they're recruiting. But Taylor Starling right now is headed to Colorado. He's 5'10", 170-pound senior, 60 tackles and 3 interceptions on the season. David Spruell is the free safety, 5'8", 170-pound senior. He's got 65 tackles, 6 interceptions on the season. And I'm telling you, this defense is outstanding. They weigh 1,025 pounds up front. That's 256 pounds per man. 10 seniors starting on defense with 1 junior. The defensive coordinator is Kyle Ward. The assistant coach is defensive lineman Mac Hornbuckle. The another defensive line coaches Michael Traylor. Linebackers coaches are Dominique Spencer and James Davis. Defensive back coach is Kyle Ward and Cranston Jones. That's your South Oak Cliff defense.
All right, let's go to the Argyle, the Eagles starting offense. Starting on the offensive line at left tackle, 6'5", 275-pound senior going to Baylor is Wes Tucker. At 6'1", 270 pounds, left guard Noah Weeks. At center, Jason Crowder, 6'3", 285-pound senior. He's going to SFA. Right guard, I love this name, Monty. Right guard, Thor Johansson.
That's a good one.
6'3", 280.
That sounds like a right guard.
I know, it does.
Thor.
Just pancaking left and right. 6'3", 285-pound junior, Thor Johansson. Right tackle is Weston Cheney, 6'5", 260-pound sophomore. At wide receiver is Will Hodson, 6'2", 185-pound junior, 29 catches, 588 yards on the season. He's got 5 touchdowns, averaging 20 yards a catch. The other wide receiver is Will Krizak, at 22 catches, 517 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He's averaging 23.5 yards a catch. At the tight end, halfback, at the halfback, Hunter McFall, 6'3", 230-pound junior, 16 catches, 160 yards, and 4 touchdowns. The other slot receiver, Wayne Pritz, 17 catches, 322 yards, and 4 touchdowns. He's a 6'7", 210-pound senior, playing the slot position at receiver. Running back, R.J. Bunnell, 211 catches, 211 rushes, 1,547 yards, 19 touchdowns, averaging 7.3 yards a catch. He's had 5 catches, 7.3 yards a carry. He's got 5 receptions for 89 yards and 2 touchdowns. Landon Ferris, Monty talked about him earlier. He'll back up R.J. Bunnell at times. 180 catches, 180 rushes. I keep saying that. 180 rushes, 1,108 yards, 15 touchdowns. And they're led by their quarterback, 6'2", 190-pound junior, John Gailey. 83 completions for 159 attempts, 1,460 yards, 13 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. That's 52.2% completion, 29 carries, 82 yards for 4 touchdowns. Their offensive coordinator is Jake Gregory. And talking about that offensive line, they average 275 pounds across that offensive line.
Yeah, that offensive line, 275 pounds versus the defensive line of South Oak Cliff of 256 pounds.
I was looking like that. That's pretty even.
now, on the other side, you've got 309-pound South Oak Cliff offensive line versus 250-pound defensive line for Argyle. So that's a big difference, and that's where the game may land right there.
Well, they say it happens in the trenches, and it literally may happen like that.
Now, we got a text. I looked for it all week. Obviously, the name Van Poppel rings out in the area. If you're a baseball fan, Todd Van Poppel was a pitcher for the Texas Rangers at the end of his career, drafted early by the Oakland Athletics a long time ago. And I looked all week to see if there was any connection with Riley Van Poppel. I couldn't find any. However, and he doesn't even play baseball. However, I just got a text that said Riley Van Poppel is the son of Todd Van Poppel.
But doesn't play baseball.
Doesn't play baseball.
Wow. But he's pretty good defensive end going to Nebraska.
I could not find that he played baseball. Yeah. There was not in his bio, the one that I did find. So you're in the Build-A-Berry Funeral Directors pregame show. That's your starting lineups. We've got Lance Sandmillan with us tonight. He'll be doing stats in the place of Blake Burnett. We wish the Blizzard well. He is in somewhere in West Texas, Abilene, trying to see Gunner and Canadian, right?
Yeah, trying to see Gunner and Canadian. They got a big game tonight.
He has the night off. You'll hear from Lance Sandmillan during the halftime show. And let's talk about the keys to victory for South Oak Cliff. And how do you see them being able to prevail tonight in this football game?
I think, as we talked about earlier with the offensive line, it's going to start there. It's going to start with the running game and trying to establish that. Keeping them honest, I still think you're going to have to pass the ball a little bit. And even you don't have to go long. You don't have to turn into an air raid offense, but you're going to have to do something to just kind of keep the defense honest for Argyle. Maybe short, as I said, short slants, intermediate passes. if they're playing off the receivers, maybe just a quick passes on the outside to bubble screens to some of your receivers up there to Corinthian Coleman and Randy Reese. You have a big receiver in Jamari Cawley if you had to go big. He's 6'2", 210 pounds. Even Trey Jackson, 6'5", 200 pounds. So they got a little bit of everything on this offense. And defensively, continue to do what they do, just locking down receivers, getting pressure on the quarterback, and stuffing that interior line. And making Argyle, if you can get up on Argyle and try to make them into a passing game and try to stop John Gailey, the quarterback, from being a dual threat option, I think you can prevail in this game here at South Oak Cliff.
We'll go over the keys for Argyle in a moment. In the meantime, we'll give you the officials. The umpire tonight, Robert Mack Jr., the head linesman, Lance Johnson. He's a huddle administrator. And if you know anything about high school football these days, you most certainly know about huddle. It's a video system that all of the teams use across the state. The line judge is Dwayne Cooper. The back judge is Lance Davis. The side judge, Christopher Robinson. And the field judge is Trent Soltes. Let's go over the keys for victory for Argyle, Justin. Tell me a little bit about what we expect. If Argyle is going to make it to the big dance next week, what are they going to have to do?
I think their offense is going to have to score on offense and try to – I think if a team can get up on – I know it sounds very elementary, but if you can get up on South Oak Cliff and make them play from behind, turn them into a passing team, I think you can beat them because they make their living on the ground. They're not used to passing the ball. They're not used to coming from behind. So if you can get a couple of scores, get a couple extra possessions up on them, that can make things difficult for South Oak Cliff and try to make them just one-dimensional.
So the teams are in the end zone doing their stretching. We're a few minutes away from National Anthem and all the pageantry. The South Oak Cliff Golden Bears are in all white tonight with the white helmets. A different look, obviously, from a week ago. White pants, white tops, white helmets with gold numerals. Argyle, well, they look like Texas Tech. That's a good friend of mine next door. They look like Texas Tech. Black pants, black tops, black helmets with red and white stripe. Maybe 1993 Texas Tech. That's the look. Black jerseys, black pants, black helmets with the red and white stripe down the middle of the pants. It is a really good look. But South Oak Cliff, it's that time of year, and they've brought out the all whites.
Got the whites with the are these numbers easier to see, or have we concluded whether or not we can decipher the numbers on the back of the jerseys?
Well, here's the good news tonight. We'll peek behind the curtain a little bit. Typically, I keep a chart during the game, and I have very bad eyesight, as most everybody who's ever listened to me knows. So last week I was flipping between glasses and binoculars, up and down glasses, in between each play, trying to write down on the chart. When you're in a small stadium, I can get away because I don't have to wear or use the binoculars. But stadiums like this, binoculars have to come out. So tonight, with Lance Sandmillan here, he's going to do the drive chart. Okay. So I'm free to be able to see. How about that?
Yeah, you don't have to worry about writing down after every play.
It's so nice. Lance and I worked together before, probably maybe three games, but it's been 9 years ago. Lynn Burkhead, Lance and Lynn worked together for the Denison broadcast, and they have for many years. But Lynn he had to go on some fishing excursion or duck hunting or whatever he does, and then he goes and writes about it. But anyway, I got called to fill in for Lynn a few games about 9, 10, 11 years ago. Matter of fact, I think I did the very first Chad Rogers game ever in Denison. But had a chance to work with Lance Sandmillan back then, so there's some familiarity there. I know what he does. And when Blake said he wasn't going to be here, I knew which guy I needed to call. Glad to have Lance with us tonight. It's going to be a pleasure having him on the broadcast tonight.
Real quick, the winner of this game plays the winner of Liberty Hill and Port Neches Grove. And right now, that game is starting the second quarter 9-7, Fort Neches Groves leads Liberty Hill. So if South Oak Cliff wins tonight and Liberty Hill wins their game, it's a lot of ifs. It could be a rematch at AT&T Stadium next week.
Let's talk about one factor that could contribute to this football game tonight. It's not the most clear game out here tonight. It's not the most beautiful scene as far as weather is concerned. Talk about that.
It's a little bit foggy. I mean, again, we're way up into the heavens here, but it is foggy. It's a little bit damp, it feels like, outside. That could pose a problem as far as trying to hang on the ball. Ball security, so you have to kind of high and tight and kind of hold on to it and hopefully not have any turnovers. But that could be an issue here this evening.
It's 62 degrees. Currently no rain, but as Justin just mentioned, a little bit of a haze due to fog, but it's up above the playing surface, obviously. This Crowley ISD multipurpose stadium is, in fact, in Fort Worth. It seats 8,000. It's a big, huge stadium. It is beautiful here. Opened this year. There's a video scoreboard to our left. And the field house is on our right. And, boy, there's a lot of components to this $40 million complex, isn't there?
Yeah, you can kind of tell it's kind of out in the middle of a field, and it's kind of off the beaten path a little bit, kind of almost in an industrial type of area. And I'm sure it won't be too longer before they start having businesses and restaurants and things like that built up around here.
It's the home of the Crowley Eagles and the North Crowley Panthers. But tonight, it's the home team is Argyle Eagles and South Oak Cliff.
You found that out the hard way.
I did. We I don't know what I was thinking. We had the home radio booth a week ago at the old ballpark in Arlington, now called Choctaw Stadium. And I had it on autopilot, went and set up everything in our home broadcast booth here at Crowley. And then the home broadcast crew showed up and said, "Hey guys, you're in the next booth." And I went, "Oh no, that's a minor league mistake. I haven't done that in years." But
and the fact that it happened when you're almost done, not early on when you're just unpacking, but when you're almost done, that's when you find out.
Captains out on the field for Argyle: Dax Horani, Grant Mirabal, Riley Van Poppel, and Wes Tucker. And we'll see what the turnout is going to be down on the coin toss tonight. We'll see the players are shaking hands. It looks like Tedrick Williams is making the call for South Oak Cliff. The coin is up in the air. Both teams looking down at the ground. Tedrick Williams is making the call. He points to our right, which I need to find out. I think that is so South Oak Cliff has won the toss, and they have elected to defer.
Not surprising, Coach Todd. He wants to put the pressure on their offense and let his defense do the work and get the ball to start the second half.
So this is a north-south field with the north on our left.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand.
So again, you're listening to the Rodenbaugh Funeral Director's pregame show. And I think we're ready for the national anthem here as both teams are ready, lining the side. And with that, Justin White, it is football time in Texas. In Fort Worth, Texas, at Crowley ISD.
I noticed during the national anthem, all the Argyle players had their helmets off. They've got the blonde hair, kind of like South Lake Carroll and Stephenville. All those teams back in the day used to do where they dyed their hair blonde for the playoffs. Argyle has done the same.
I'm not sure I got it right a moment ago, but I want to let everybody know, to our left, we're way up here in the high, but our vantage point from the press box to the field, on our left is the north, and our right is the south. So if I give directions to the north end zone, you'll understand that it's at our left vantage point. South Oak Cliff is going to be headed south as they line up to kick here. And it will be Diego Varela to do the kicking to start this football game. Back deep to receive will be Jaquan Felton. Diego Varela jumps a little bit. Getting ready, getting loose. We're just about ready to get underway here. Thanks for listening to the Build-A-Berry Funeral Directors pregame show. It's now football time in Texas.
Been waiting all week for this game.
Varela still stands and looks at Argyle. Just stares at him for a moment. Still waiting.
What are we waiting on here?
The teams are spread out. Let's see, that is Devin Owen back to return as well, along with Felton, Jaquan Felton.
Here we go.
And now the whistle's blow, and we're just about ready to get underway. South Oak Cliff kicking from left to right. Headed towards the south. And the Class 5A Division II Semifinal Championship is officially underway. The kick is going to be a deep one back inside the 5-yard, going to be taken by Felton. Coming up to 10, coming up to 15, knocked down hard at the 18-yard line. And Argyle will be moving right to left from their own 18 on the right hash.
We got Argyle coming out, led by their quarterback, John Gailey, who I said earlier is a dual threat type of quarterback. Can run the ball, can pass the ball. He'll be somebody to key in on that the South Oak Cliff Golden Bear defense will be keying in on.
John Gailey and company come out. 3 receivers bunched together on the near side. The man in motion is Will Hudson, goes from left to right. This is going to be a handoff right up the middle. First man through, which is the only man through, is R.J. Bunnell, and he's going to gain about 4 or 5 yards up to the 26-yard line. It'll be second down at about 5, and already an injured South Oak Cliff player down.
You had left tackle Wes Tucker and left guard Noah Weeks pulling on there, pulling from the left tackle, left guard over to the right side of the offensive line to clear the path for Bunnell. And I'm trying to see who that is for the Golden Bears who's down.
I've even got my binoculars, and I still can't tell. Now, the Golden Bears, they have the white jerseys with the gold numbers, and they're light gold. They're not the road hazard yellow. They are true gold, and it's hard to see who they are. It's not an easy sight on the back of the uniform. The transition of the uniform is not easy. Now that's Brandon Jones, the middle linebacker and the leading tackler, and he will walk off the field. Taking his time, but he is off the field under his own power. So 2 receivers near side, 1 up top. Man goes in motion again is Hodson, Will Hodson. And turn, and this is going to be a read option pass and an incomplete pass. Trying to hit Will Hodson is the quarterback, John Gailey, and it's incomplete. Just threw it a little bit over his head on a quick end. It'll be 3rd down.
Trying to get it to Dotson. Yeah, just overshot him just a little bit on the RPO. I believe that was Malik Muhammad in on coverage there on Dotson.
John Gailey claps, low snap, digs it out, hands it off left side, and that'll be Bunnell on the carry R.J. Bunnell for a first down, passes the 30 to the 32-yard line. Just straight up the middle.
Yeah, nothing special about it. If you can start attacking this interior defensive line, that's going to definitely open things up for the offense.
1st and 10, quickly, here's Argyle. Handoff. R.J. Bunnell is going to be knocked backward this time. So the ball's on the turf. South Oak Cliff, a scramble for it. I believe Argyle was able to recover, but there was a fight for it back at the 20-yard line, and it's going to be a big loss of about 12 yards.
Right when I said there was nothing on that interior defensive line, they bottled up Bunnell pretty quickly, and as he went down, the ball just popped out of the pile, and South Oak Cliff almost was able to land on it. And as he went to fall on it, he got pushed back a little bit farther. John Gailey able to make the recovery, and it's going to be a second down and long for the Eagles.
3 bunched together receivers at the bottom. Nobody on the other side. Now Hodson goes in motion from left to right. Quick pass from Gailey. It's going to be caught. First completion of the night. We'll take it to the 21-yard line, and that is Kriziak on the catch. Will Kriziak. 22 catches, 518 yards, coming in with 5 touchdowns. And that'll be 3rd down for Argyle.
If you're South Oak Cliff, you could really, they're going to rush 4, but you really could rush 3 and drop back 8 if you really wanted to.
3 receivers started on the right. Now man comes in motion from right to left. And this is going to be the quarterback, Gailey, scrambling out of the pocket. Dropped in the backfield, but he was able to get it away right before he went down. It's 4th down and punt time for the Argyle Eagles on their first possession tonight. No scores. We're just underway, 9:58 on the clock here in the first.
Gailey dropped back to pass, and the pocket collapsed on him very quickly. Then Dylan Brown-Turner able to pursue him very quickly and make Gunnell get rid of that ball. Gailey get rid of that ball quicker than he wanted to.
Trey Batson back to punt. He'll stand at his own 13-yard line. The snap is good. The kick is a low line drive kick. Bounces, and letting it go is Corinthian Coleman. And it'll roll all the way inside the 30 to the 26-yard line, where South Oak Cliff will start their first possession, moving left to right from the far hash. 9:48 on the clock, no score here in Fort Worth, Texas at Crowley ISD Multi-Sport Complex.
As we said, we've got this big offensive line coming out. The first guy you see that I always notice is Breon Ramsey, 6'5", 350-pound senior, playing usually he's listed left guard on our roster. Looks like he's playing right guard right on this snap.
William Little sends a man in motion, and he'll hand off to the first man through and hit in the backfield, knocked backwards, maybe losing a yard back to the 25 is the tailback, which I believe was Danny Green getting the start.
I'll tell you what, Bud Petter and Grant Mirabal, the OSU, Oklahoma State commit linebackers. They got 4 good linebackers on this team that can really tackle, really pursue, and they did right there on Green. As soon as he got the handoff, we took him down the backfield.
2nd down and 11 from the left hash. William Little in the gun. He's going to hand off to Green, coming right side on what used to be back in the day was a buck sweep. And it's good for about 6 or 7 yards to the 32-yard line.
Got a little bit of yardage back as he's trying to get around that right tackle, that right side, try to use some of the speed on the edge and able to get some of that yards back for a 3rd and short here at the 32-yard line.
The scoreboard says 3rd and 5. It's more like 3rd and 4. 8:45 on the clock, no score. Little, a quick pass out. That's going to be caught for a first down near side. And on the catch for South Oak Cliff is Joshua Manley, and that will move the sticks. South Oak Cliff likes to line up in a 3-receiver set, generally 2 to either side. Right now, 2 to the left side. 1 down here at the bottom, moving left to right. William Little, handoff Green. Right guard, squirts through, still fighting, and then finally pushed back hard. But a nice gain of 5 yards to the 41-yard line.
They brought in an H-back, number 35, Jaquan Green, to have an extra blocker, extra puller, as one of those other guards try to pave the way on that right side. They finding something on that right edge.
They'll give him forward progress to the 42-yard line. No score, 7:56 on the first quarter clock. It's ticking. 2 receivers left, 1 right. William Little, handoff right side. Danny Green again. Close to a first down. It's going to be a little bit short at the 45-yard line, just past the 45. Really needs to get between the 46 and 7 to pick up the first down. Closer to the 47. They're going to spot it with the nose on the 45. So he's got about a yard and a half here. Actually, it's closer to a yard when you look at those sticks. So this is going to be a pretty big play early right here. Snap back, hand off. And that is not Green. That's Tedrick Williams into the game at the tailback position. He did not get the first down, but Justin, I'm gonna think this might be 4-down territory already in this football game near midfield.
I think with the defense you got for South Oak Cliff, you're willing to take the gamble, use your big offensive line, see if you can just fall forward for half a yard.
This is a big play. Gentlemen, put that seatbelt on like we told you in the Bill DeBerry Funeral Director's pregame show. It's 4th down and 1. 6:45 on the clock here in the first. South Oak Cliff going for it, left to right. William Little in the gun. Snap back, hand off right side, trying to hit the hole hard as Danny Green. He does. He was shot out of a cannon, and he's got the first down.
Danny Green, 5'9", 165 pounds, but he runs bigger than that as he ran just smack dab right in the, I believe that was either Caden Yates or Bud Petter, the linebacker, and he needed about a yard, got about 2.
Well, he was determined to pick up that first down. He was not going to be stopped. When he took the hand, he was running at full speed.
He was going straight ahead. He was going to be falling forward.
First down and 10 for South Oak Cliff. Left to right, 2 receivers near side. Corinthian Coleman goes in motion. They fake the jet sweep to him. They give it up the middle to Javon Thomas, and he's good for 9 yards on first down into the Argyle side of the field at the 43-yard line.
Just a run right up the gut, right behind Nehemiah Dewberry, the senior center, and just kind of weaved his way, snaked his way through that offensive line, defensive line. Barely even touched before he got close to the first down marker.
2nd down and 1 right here. How about a home run ball? This would be a good time to try to hit the home run. William Little, he does drop back, wants to throw deep down the left side. It's got his man. It's going to be caught at the 31-yard line and slipping out of bounds on the far side. On the catch is the receiver, Jamari Crowley. 18 catches, 294 yards on the season, 4 touchdowns, 16.3 per catch. It's a big 6'2", 210-pound receiver. And that's a first down. And here's a handoff straight up the middle. Look out. Kiss him goodbye, Tedrick Williams. That's Javon Thomas, actually, who's headed to Texas A&M.
Boy, Thomas was untouched as he went to the line. A man went in motion. I didn't see who it was, but that may have thrown Argyle off just a second. And as soon as he hand off to Williams, he was untouched and he went right up the gut against this Argyle defense.
Well, that caught me off guard. He had such a gaping hole right up the middle of the field, in between the hashes, 29 yards. And South Oak Cliff is on the board first, 6-0, awaiting this PAT. And it looks like it is good, and it is. South Oak Cliff, 7-0, 5:18 left to go in the first. We're just underway. Sock already on the board. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
Dallas ISD offers more school choice options than any other school or district in the city. Explore them all at dallasisd.org/discover. Your one-stop shop to browse and select the right opportunity for your child. The application deadline is January 31st, so visit dallasisd.org/discover and apply today. The choice is yours. Turn your kids' options into opportunities.
Welcome back to Crowley ISD Multipurpose Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas. Monty Walker along with Justin White. Your scoring drive recap for South Oak Cliff. 10 plays, 74 yards, took 4 minutes and 13 seconds off the clock. Javon Thomas scored from 29 yards out. And it was a true kick by Diego Varela, who's been just lights out all season and for his career a year ago.
He had a good game last week.
That's your scoring drive recap. Thank you, Lance Sandmiller. I like
They're trying to get used to not doing the drive charts.
I kind of enjoy that. What a drive that was for South Oak Cliff and their offensive coordinator. It was outstanding.
Jacoby Walker is the offensive coordinator for South Oak Cliff.
Yeah.
And I think what helped was William Little passing the ball, showing that he can throw the ball. They're a run-first team, but the fact that Little showed some accuracy and can get the ball in the receiver's hands, I think that helped open things up for the Golden Bears offense.
Head coach James Todd, 81-22 in his 8 seasons as head coach. His grandfather, Frederick Todd, was the longtime principal at South Oak Cliff. After playing linebacker at Texas Southern, Todd learned from legendary coach Reginald Samples, now at Duncanville, while serving as a defensive backs coach at Lincoln and as the defensive coordinator at Skyline. As you mentioned, Jacoby Walker is the offensive coordinator. Keith Davis and Chris Pegram are the running backs coaches. James Gish, Ronald Jones are the wide receivers coaches. Offensive line, Wayne Ingram and Javon Lindley. Here's your kick by Varala. It's going to be that's not a really good kick at all. It goes out of bounds at about the 13-yard line. So Argyle, again, on their second drive, will be headed right to left. And they'll have pretty good field position to start this one.
Well, Argyle moved the ball. I think got a first down out of that last drive. They did have the fumble, but able to recover it themselves, which kind of set them back behind the chains. And really, when you have a defense like South Oak Cliff, putting yourself at 2nd and 20, 2nd and 25 does not bode well for you, and end up having to punt the ball.
7-0 South Oak Cliff in the lead. 5:18 on the clock here in the first. John Gailey's going to keep it and do it himself. Left side stumbles, or he would have been gone a long way. That is actually not Gailey who lined up at the quarterback position. They were running some kind of a wildcat right there, and it was Jacob Robinson in at the quarterback position. He'll stay there. Low snap, he's coming up and trying to run again. He does have enough for a first down as Robinson giving some spark to this offense. Now he'll check out. And the traditional quarterback, John Gailey, will check in. Now, Robinson is the backup quarterback. He's 47 out of 100, 5 interceptions, 685 yards, 8 touchdowns through the air. He's rushed 51 times for 318 yards. He just picked up a first down there for Argyle. This is going to be a pitch out to the near side, and R.J. Bunnell will be close to another first down as Argyle crosses the 50-yard line into South Oak Cliff territory at the 48.
A couple of those runs by Jacob Robinson maybe kind of got them loosened up for this because now they're starting to kind of get some momentum going on this drive.
2 receivers bunched together near the line of scrimmage. End around reverse coming, and that's going to be Will Hodson coming from the right slot receiver spot all the way back near side. He gets the pitch, has a lot of traffic through the middle, and he'll pick up 8 yards to. Well, actually, no. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. Not much doing there. About 3rd and 2 coming up from the 48. Man in motion, the H-back. This is going to be a handoff to R.J. Hodson, or actually R.J. Bunnell. He'll get 1, and now all of a sudden Argyle is in the same situation with a 4th down and 1.
Yeah, they moved the ball pretty well with a little bit of trickery, a little wrinkle with Jacob Robinson, and now after a reverse and a minimal run, now they got 4th down.
2 receivers right, 1 left. Trying to draw South Oak Cliff offsides, can't do it. Now they go back, change the play. Bunnell will stand to the left side. Now the H-back goes in motion, and a free open run, an easy first down for John Gailey around the left edge as there was no one there, and he picked up enough yards to the 42 to move the sticks.
Yeah, Hunter McFall, the H-back, moved right behind the left tackle and just kind of sealed that left side and gave Gailey all the room he could run on the left side before they pushed him out of bounds.
7-0 South Oak Cliff in the lead, 3:30 on the clock here in the first. John Gailey around the left edge. He's going to be popped, but he gets 2 yards, but he's going to pay the price after actually only 1 yard to the 41-yard line.
They're seeing something on that left side, and rightfully so. They got Wes Tucker, the Baylor commit, on that left tackle, left guard Noah Weeks, who will pull occasionally, and they're working that left side. South Oak Cliff kind of picked up Gailey when they tackled him and maybe making him feel it.
Well, that was Robinson again into the game.
Well,
Now Gailey back in. Man goes in motion from left to right. Gailey pulls it down. It's almost picked off. It was knocked down at the line of scrimmage by Abdul Muhammad, who got his left paw on the pass and knocked it down. It's going to be 3rd down and 9 for Argyle with 2:57 left to go in the first, trailing South Oak Cliff 7-0.
It's a quick flare pass out to the right side, and who do you say, Thomas? Javon Thomas able to get a...
That was Muhammad.
I'm sorry, Muhammad able to knock that thing down, almost ricocheted into his own hands.
3 receivers right. Man goes in motion is Kriziak from right to left. Gailey wants to throw deep down the field, and he throws it away as Kriziak fell down apparently. And now it will be 4th down for Argyle.
Yeah, it was a quick I'm sorry, go ahead.
Well, they're going to punt here on 4th and 9.
Yeah, quick comeback route for Kriziak and just overshot him. I don't know. And Malik Muhammad was pretty tight in coverage on that throw.
South Oak Cliff not back to return it. As the punt is a high kick, trying to trap him, but it bounces at the 4, rolls into the end zone. As Trey Batson's kick will not net much for Argyle. You kind of wonder there the difference if you're going to kick it in the end zone like that. The net is only, a few yards. Even though it's 4th and 9, perhaps going for it right there might not have been a bad decision.
I wonder.
We all have hindsight now, right?
Yeah, and I wonder if they were going to try to pin it deep. Hindsight is 20/20 at this point.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for South Oak Cliff, moving left to right when play resumes. There's a delay in action. While they're doing that, we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back right after this.
Since 1963, the Harris Ratings Weekly has provided Texas high school football coaches and fans complete rating services, including the power ratings for all UIL football teams, from 2A to 6A, with the top 10 rankings and the point differentials for each game each week. For more information, call Harris Ratings Weekly and Van Harris at 940-498-5176. That's 940-498-5176. And they're online at harrisratings.com. Harris Ratings Weekly, another proud supporter of Millennium Sports football broadcasts.
Welcome back to Crowley ISD Multi-Purpose Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas. Let's thank our sponsors tonight, Justin.
Tonight's game is being broadcast live at TexasSportsProductions.com. Millennium Sports wishes thank our broadcast sponsors: Bill DeBerry Funeral Directors of Denton, Road Balls Flooring America Kitchen Bed and Bath of Allen, Nelson Law Group PC of Flower Mound, the Dallas Independent School District, Joseph Paul Holmes of Fairview, booklet Walking Through the Valley of Grief by author James C. Bivens, available now on Amazon, Harris Rating Weekly of Corinth.
Monty Walker along with Justin White. We're in Crowley ISD Multipurpose Stadium, where South Oak Cliff leads 7-0 over Argyle. 2:45 left to go in quarter number 1. And South Oak Cliff is experiencing what you call a TV timeout, where they're ready to go. The high school players aren't used to this. College players get accustomed to it. NFL, obviously, but they're antsy down there, and so are the broadcasters up here. Man goes in motion, a flip to him, coming near side, and he falls down. On the flip coming near side, I believe was Evans. I think that was Ricky Evans, and it was just coming from his slot on the left, came in a dead sprint, and the turf grabbed him.
Yeah, I wonder if he hit one of his linemen or a receiver out there blocking, but I think he just tripped on the turf.
That's going to be a loss of about 2 yards. 2nd down and 12 coming up. South Oak Cliff from their own 22-yard line. William Little is going to hand off to Danny Green, trying to bounce it out left side, flag down, and Green gets the edge, close to a first down at the 29. He's hit hard out of bounds. However, let's check the flag at the line of scrimmage. This one generally is a holding call. And the offensive lineman, Nehemiah Dewberry, has his hands in the air. Or actually, no, that's Breon Ramsey Brooks. And it's not on Ramsey Brooks. It's on the H-back. The holding call is.
Second and long for the Golden
And
Bears.
Jaquan Green.
Yeah.
We're getting numbers tonight here on the calls, on the penalties. So
It's big time when you get to the semifinals.
We got TV timeouts,
Yeah.
numbers on the guilty parties.
Don't forget, you can listen to Millennium Sports State Championship games a week from tonight and tomorrow. Man in motion again, and now another flag goes down. Corinthian Coleman was in motion from left to right from his receiver spot. This is going to be offsides against South Oak Cliff, and they just keep going backwards here. This has not been a very good drive for the Golden Bears as they're trapped inside the 5-yard line now at the 4. And it's second down and 21. And an injured South Oak Cliff player is down, maybe cramps. And it looks like it's Joshua Manley, the receiver.
Cramps in early December?
Yeah, that's not normal.
Looks like, do we have a timeout called by?
Well, the players are coming back out on the field.
I guess because the injury. Manley was down for a little bit. He had the cramps. Looked like he stood up and went off the field.
2:03 on the clock here in the first. 7-0. South Oak Cliff in the lead, but they're going backwards on this possession. And it is second down and 26. Two receivers left, one down here at the bottom. Moving left to right. Man comes in motion, Corinthian Coleman. William Little wants to throw. Deep ball left side. Going up for it and coming down with it. No, it's incomplete. It was Crowley, and he looks like he may be injured as he is really nursing what looks like a left ankle. And Jeremiah Crowley checks out of the football game, and if things weren't going bad enough on this drive, you can't lose your big receiver.
Yeah, they went one-on-one, Crowley with Felton, Jaquan Felton, a 6'2", 200-pound senior, as we go next play.
And here is Tedrick Williams trying to bounce it out. Spinning out of a tackle, spinning out of another tackle, makes it his way up to the 15-yard line, and now forced backwards. Not enough for a first down. That's Javon Thomas again. As we've not seen Tedrick Williams, we've seen Thomas and Green.
Well, that was
going to be third down in a long way.
It was third down and 26, deep in their own territory. They just kind of ran a run play just to give their punter just a little bit more breathing room, knowing they probably weren't going to get the first down. And this will set up good field position for Argyle. So those penalties, back-to-back penalties, really hurt the Golden Bears on that possession.
Carter Kopecki back to punt this one away. He'll stand at his own 5-yard line. It's fourth down and 15, 1:10 on the clock in the first. South Oak Cliff up 7-0, but punting it away, and a fair catch is going to be called for by Krzyzak. And Argyle will have pretty good field position at the South Oak Cliff 46-yard line to start this drive.
I'll be curious to see what kind of wrinkle they start out with. The last one they did, they brought in their backup quarterback, Jacob Robinson, let him run a couple of quarterback design runs to kind of get them maybe in the rhythm. They tried to reverse, that didn't work, and eventually had to punt it. See what kind of wrinkle they bring back this on this possession.
1:04 on the clock. Argyle on their third possession of the night, trailing 7-0 to South Oak Cliff. And into the game at quarterback is Robinson, and he takes off around the right edge. He is definitely the running quarterback, as he's been spectacular in his plays so far tonight.
Well, he is fast.
That's a first down to the 36-yard line.
Read option to Landon Ferris. You got to honor him too. And he kept it around that right edge and just was off to the races. Got a first down out of it.
Robinson will hand off. And not much doing there. R.J. Bunnell on the carry, maybe a yard to the 35, but I think he just got back to the line of scrimmage, and he did. So second down and 10 coming up. We're nearing the end of the first quarter. 7-0. South Oak Cliff in the lead. And Robinson, I believe, staying into the game, or did they switch again?
Gailey's back in there now.
Gailey's back in. Krzyzak goes in motion, then he turns around. Gailey is going to hand it off up the middle to R.J. Bunnell. He'll gain 2 yards to the 34-yard line, and that's going to be the end of the first quarter. South Oak Cliff on top here at Crowley ISD Multipurpose Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
DeBerry Funeral Directors of Denton provide families with personal and professional services, keeping their wishes in the time of need. Our phones are answered 24 hours at 940-383-4200 by Bill DeBerry or another family funeral director. We are here for you. Call anytime at 940-383-4200. Details online at DeBerryFuneralDirectors.com.
Welcome back to Crowley ISD Multipurpose Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas. Justin, can you give us our sponsors?
Tonight's game is being broadcast live at our Texas Sports Productions at TexasSportsProductions.com. Millennium Sports wishes to thank our broadcast sponsors: Bill DeBerry Funeral Directors of Denton, Rodenball's Flooring America Kitchen, Bed, and Bath of Allen, Nelson Law Group PC of Flower Mound, the Dallas Independent School District, Joseph Paul Holmes of Fairview, booklet Walking Through the Valley of Grief by author James C. Bivens, available now on Amazon, and the Harris Rating Weekly of Corinth.
Let's go over stats. The South Oak Cliff Golden Bears, 83 total yards to Argyle's 35. South Oak Cliff has done it with 65 on the ground, Argyle 28 on the ground. South Oak Cliff, the difference really, 3 penalties for 19 yards. Argyle has not committed a penalty so far. William Little is 3 out of 4 for 75 yards. Argyle, John Gailey is 1 out of 5 for 20 yards. Javon Thomas, the leading rusher in the game for South Oak Cliff, 3 carries, 49 yards, and a touchdown. Danny Green with 4 carries, 13 yards. For Argyle, it's R.J. Bunnell, 4 carries, 21 yards, and then the backup quarterback, Jacob Robinson, 3 carries, 15 yards. He's been really special when he comes into the game. Your leading receiver tonight for South Oak Cliff. 3 players have 1 catch, but Jamari Cawley has 1 catch for 15 yards. Joshua Manley has 1 for 5. Ricky Evans had that one, which was it's kind of a jet sweep look, but he lost 2 yards. Argyle has only completed 1 pass, and that was to Will Krzyzak for 7 yards.
Other score in this 5A Division II bracket, Liberty Hill has their hands full. They're losing to Port Neches Grove 25-14 nearing the half. Liberty Hill down 25-14 to Port Neches Grove.
We're starting the second quarter where South Oak Cliff leads 7-0. Does it appear like it may be getting more foggy?
It does. A little bit? It does feel like our view is just to get a little bit more smokier, foggier.
South Oak Cliff in the lead, 7-0 here at Crowley ISD Multipurpose Stadium, Fort Worth, Texas. Robinson still in the game at quarterback. He's going to run it up the middle. He's going to be brought down hard. A great open field tackle by South Oak Cliff. And I think that was Kerry Williams or Kendrick Carter on the tackle, but I think it was...
I was going to say Jaden Shelton.
And at linebacker.
Yes.
It could be, I think it was Shelton.
He shot through the gap and took down Robinson.
4th down and 7. Robinson's going to keep it around the right edge, and I think a great tackle was just made by Malik Muhammad, and it was. And that will flip the field as it was 4th down and 7. Robinson, who has been so successful on that so far this evening, was not able to capture the sideline on the right because Malik Muhammad, who's headed to Texas, cut him off. And it'll be 1st and 10 for South Oak Cliff, heading right to left.
Yeah, they tried to go quickly with Robinson, and it went to the outside. It was almost like trying to race to the out-of-bounds marker, and Jaden Shelton and Malik Muhammad were both keyed in on him and knocked him down short of the 1st down. Ball turns over to South Oak Cliff.
2 receivers near side, 1 up at the top, South Oak Cliff, right to left. Man goes in motion is Corinthian Coleman. They hand it off up the middle to Danny Green. No, that's Tedrick Williams. There's our first sighting of Tedrick Williams. And he'll gain 5 yards to the 33-yard line. It'll be 2nd down and 5.
Tedrick Williams over 1,000-yard rusher on the season, 10 touchdowns. He's a speedster, 5'9", 180 pounds, senior. He gets the ball in open field, and he is lightning fast.
Again, we are way up here, high in the sky at this brand new facility. It's beautiful, but we're way up here. Handoff again to Williams. The ball comes out, a scramble for it. This could be Argyle's football, but the officials say that South Oak Cliff was able to muscle it away, and it was recovered by Jaden Rowe, the right guard. And that'll be a loss of a few yards, but it'll still be a manageable third down situation of about 7. About a 2-yard loss on the fumble by Williams. Danny Green into the game now. Dropping back to pass a screen pass out to Danny Green. He can't make much out of it, even losing a yard back to the 30. As William Little's pass is going to go for -1, and it'll bring on the punt team with 10:04 here in quarter number 2, with South Oak Cliff leading 7-0 over Argyle.
Little looked downfield, didn't see anybody there, went in the flats to a safety valve to Green, and right there keying in on was Devin Owen, and then Caden Yates came to finish him off. And good tackling and good pursuit by Argyle.
Krzyzak back to return this punt. And it's a high wobbly kick. Kicked way away from Krzyzak down the left side of the field, and will be killed at the 30-yard line. That's a 40-yard punt by Carter Kopecki. And Argyle will be headed left to right now on the right hash, on the near hash, at the 30-yard line. 9:31 left to go in the second. 7-0 South Oak Cliff in the lead. Monty Walker along with Justin White and Lance Sam Miller.
Argyle able to dodge a bullet by going for that fourth down earlier on the last drive. Their defense able to stiffen at the right time, and so no harm, no foul. They now just have to reset at their own 30-yard line.
Extended timeout. We're going to take one, too. We'll be right back right after this.
If you are going through a complex divorce, it is crucial to have a competent lawyer with sound and practical advice. Nelson Law Group of Flower Mound's legal and life experiences will help you through difficult times. Voted best of Denton County since 2015. For a free consultation, go online to nelsonlawgrouppc.com.
Welcome back. 9:31 left to go in quarter number 2. 7-0. South Oak Cliff in the lead here at Crowley ISD Multipurpose Stadium. It's the Class 5A Division II Semifinal Championship. Next week will be at AT&T Stadium. And Millennium Sports will be covering that game as well. South Oak Cliff trying to make it there in back-to-back years, Justin.
Yeah, they'll back-to-back years. They play the winner of Liberty Hill and Port Neches Grove. Last time I checked, Port Neches Grove is trailing or is leading right now over Liberty Hill. Lance was saying earlier about during the break was talking about the slickness of the ball. Is they're not drying it off after each possession or each time, and so the balls get a little bit slicker. Maybe that may be the reason why we've seen some fumbles early on here.
You know, it's not raining. It's not drizzling or anything like that. But it's just a real heavy fog.
There's a lot of moisture, it feels like, in the air.
It really is. You can look out. We can see the concrete right out our window on the film deck, and the ground is just wet. John Gailey is going to hand off to R.J. Bunnell up the middle, and he's got a yard before South Oak Cliff collapses right on top of him. Second down and 9 coming up as we're just about at the 9-minute mark here in quarter number 2. South Oak Cliff up 7-0. Argyle trying to move quickly with 3 receivers bunched together on the far side. Now Krzyzak comes in motion to the near side. John Gailey wants to throw right side. He's got his man. He overshoots his receiver. His tight end / H-back Hunter McFall. came in with 16 catches, 160 yards, and 4 touchdowns. Can't haul that one in. It was just a little bit too high.
Gailey put some mustard on that as McFall was coming out of his break. I mean, the ball was coming right at him, maybe a little quicker than he expected.
Trips to the left again, and Krzyzak goes in motion again, coming near side. He's going to get worn out just going in motion that far. Handoff, bundle up the middle, a big hole to the 40. He crosses the 45, a first down run for Argyle, and something to cheer about for one of the few times on the near side tonight.
Man, there was a gaping hole on that right side for Bunnell to run through. And he needed that as they got the first down now.
This will be another handoff to Bunnell, R.J. Bunnell, for 4 yards. Nearing midfield at the 46-yard line. 8:37 and ticking here in quarter number 2. Argyle has a big, huge feather on their helmets, like a silver feather on their black helmets. Takes up almost the whole side. John Gailey, handoff. No, he's going to keep it. Trying to escape up the middle. Flag down. So is Gailey on the South Oak Cliff side of the field at the 46-yard line. But we'll check the flag and see what this one is about. It was close to a first down, maybe a yard short. But again, I have a feeling this one may be coming back.
I wonder if that's holding. Gailey had some time to throw back there, but and saw nobody and then tucked it and ran. But the reason he may have had time was one of his linemen may have been called for holding.
It could have been defensive holding also.
One on each team. We have holding. Defense number 4.
That's what it is.
We got holding. Offense number 64.
Well, you were right, too.
We're both right.
Yeah. High five.
Yes. Who needs the blizzard? No, we need the blizzard. We miss the blizzard.
So that'll be offsetting. If you could hear that on the PA, or actually on the field mic. It's second down and 7 now with 8:18 left to go in quarter number 2. South Oak Cliff on top 7-0. It is a barn burner here. Snap back to Gailey, handoff Bunnell, slung down hard after 3 yards near midfield. And we all of a sudden have a pretty good third down situation of about 5. And it's getting really foggy now.
I'm about to say it's getting more cloudy.
At some point it might get hard to see for us.
We need to get the wipers out.
3rd and 5. There's no way they could clean the glass up here either. 7:45 and rolling. John Gailey's going to keep it. He's going to option it out to Bunnell to the left side. Not enough for the first down at the midfield stripe. Maybe at the 49-yard line in South Oak Cliff territory. But this will bring on the punt team for the Argyle Eagles. And
interesting move.
Yeah.
Or are you playing defensive here and maybe trying to pin them deep? And then depend on your defense to get a 3 and out and flip the field back the other way.
Trey Batson to punt for Argyle. Corinthian Coleman will stand at his own 20-yard line to return it. Batson runs a little bit to his right. Low line drive kick, going to bounce at the 22-yard line. Coming near side, bouncing, rolling to the 11, rolling to the 10. Corinthian Coleman watches it, and it's finally down right there. They'll down it at the 11. 6:54 on the clock here in quarter number 2. As South Oak Cliff will bring the offense back out, leading 7-0 here at Crowley ISD Multipurpose Stadium.
And the reason I was saying it was kind of an interesting call because the ball was at the South Oak Cliff 49. It was about a 4th and 4 or 5, I think less than 5, and decided to punt the ball, maybe pin them deep, and then depend on their defense to stop them, and then maybe flip the field again if South Oak Cliff has had to punt and get the ball into it's like they're thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead.
I'm really kind of shocked that we've had this many opportunities to go for it on 4th down near midfield and neither team has really taken that opportunity. Only once South Oak Cliff did.
But remember Argyle did too when they had the quarterback run
that's
there.
That's true.
Muhammad, so
yeah.
They've each gone for it. It's kind of a risk-reward type thing, high risk.
We have kind of a chess match going on between both coaches, Jason Todd and head coach Todd Rogers for Argyle.
It's getting foggier up here.
Yeah, there's no question.
Yeah.
And we're way up high again. Kind of worried that a plane's going to go by and clip us. Pretty high up here. Again, a media timeout with 6:54 left to go in quarter number 2. South Oak Cliff on top, 7-0. Justin, why don't you read our sponsors for us if you can?
Okay.
It's been a really good football game so far here.
It's definitely a defensive slugfest. Tonight's game is being broadcast live at TexasSportsProduction.com. Millennium Sports wishes to thank our broadcast sponsors: Bill DeBerry, Funeral Directors of Denton; Rodenball's Flooring America Kitchen, Bed and Bath of Allen; Nelson Law Group, PC of Flower Mound; the Dallas Independent School District; Joseph Paul Holmes of Fairview; booklet Walking Through the Valley of Grief by author James C. Bivens, available now on Amazon; and Harris Rating Weekly of Corinth.
We're just about ready for action. South Oak Cliff on the field. 2 receivers near side. Man goes in motion. And this will be a handoff. Nope, up the middle, keeping it. Javon Thomas actually got the hand. A little misdirection there. And second down and 3 perhaps is coming up after a nice gain by Thomas up the middle. 6:36 and rolling in quarter number 2. South Oak Cliff in the lead. 7-0. I'm looking for more here, but they've got a ways to go at their own 18-yard line. William Little and Javon Thomas in the backfield. Handoff, Thomas again. Spins out of a tackle, but slung down. That's going to be a pretty big loss back to the 15-yard line. And that'll set South Oak Cliff up for a 3rd down and long again, and both defenses really putting on a show so far.
Darian Doyle, the defensive end, 32 tackles and 2 sacks, comes in and takes down Javon Thomas. As soon as he got the ball in that backfield, dropped him back.
We're talking about 2 powerhouse football teams in a slugfest semifinal championship game. Argyle is undefeated at 14-0. South Oak Cliff has won 11 straight and are the defending state champions. A timeout's been called by Argyle. We will take one, too. We'll be right back right after this.
Serving the Allen area since 1962. Rodenbaugh's Flooring America Kitchen, Bed and Bath won't sell it if we can't service it. We have the names you trust: Whirlpool and KitchenAid appliances, plus Sealy and Tempur-Pedic mattresses, along with Whirlpool and Maytag washers and dryers. We finance and deliver. Our showroom is located at 102 West Main Street in Allen. Details online at rodenbaughs.com. You've got the hometown advantage with Rodenbaughs.
Founded in 1990, the DeBerry Funeral Directors, located at 2025 West University Drive in Denton, offer traditional services to cremations or anything in between. The Bill DeBerry family provide ongoing pre-planning and pre-need services, making the life transition smoother. Details are available online at DeBerryFuneralDirectors.com.
5:40 remaining in quarter number 2. South Oak Cliff up 7-0 over Argyle. We're at Crowley ISD Multi-Purpose Stadium, Fort Worth, Texas.
It's a mouthful.
That is a mouthful. South Oak Cliff from their own 15, facing a 3rd down and 6. Handoff. No. This is going to be a toss. A pass from William Little. And close to a 1st down on the reception is the H-back / tight end. Or actually, that's Joshua Manley on the reception. And boy, he was just short. If you go for it here, my goodness, you're giving Argyle all kinds of short field.
You've got a lot of faith in your defense. You go for it now.
This is at your own 20-yard line. My goodness.
Put a star by this one if they Argyle stops them here.
Boy, Jason Todd. My goodness. William Little wants it. Handoff, right side, met in the backfield. Then he surges forward. That's going to be a 1st down. Wow, that is some cojones.
Initially, I don't think he had got it, but he was falling forward and got the extra half-yard that he needed.
It was Danny Green. And that's 2 huge conversions for Danny Green in this game. That one, the biggest one, at your own 20-yard line. In a new set of downs for South Oak Cliff. 4:30 on the clock here in the second. 7-0. The Golden Bears in the lead. Man goes in motion as Corinthian Coleman. They hand off up the middle. Danny Green again to the 25-yard line, 26 perhaps. A gain of 4, and the clock keeps ticking as we near the 4-minute mark.
This is not a quick strike offense for South Oak Cliff. But just remember, I like to bring this up. You get the ball to start the second half for South Oak Cliff. You may get a 2-for-1 here if you play it right.
2 receivers near side, 1 up top. Man in motion. Evans gets the toss coming to the far side. He'll try to turn it up after he was hit. No yak yards there. Met at the line of scrimmage, and Ricky Evans will go down. Now it will be 3rd down and 6 for South Oak Cliff. 3:42 and rolling here in quarter number 2. South Oak Cliff in the lead, 7-0.
Trey Batson, the free safety, did a good open field tackle as he came around that jet sweep.
Coleman in the slot to the right. Tedrick Williams in it, the running back position. Williams is going to try to throw it out to Corinthian Coleman, and it falls incomplete at the 40-yard line. So 4th down and 6 for South Oak Cliff, and it'll be punt time with 3:15 on the clock. And Argyle's going to have a chance to score right before the half.
And Argyle fans are starting to get on their feet. They feel like that's a good win. As you make it, if you can have a decent return, you have pretty good starting field position.
Kopecky back to punt this one away. Krzyzak to return. Kopecki's punt, we think, is a low line drive kick. It's very foggy, and we're barely able to see at this point, but Krzyzak dives and makes the catch on the run at the 40-yard line. That was a dangerous catch for Krzyzak, but he does, and Argyle is 60 yards away from pay dirt.
Money, I may go ahead and head down.
Krzyzak, sorry.
3:10 left to go here in the half. I may go ahead and head down for interviews with Coach Todd.
Okay.
All right.
3:10 on the clock. A timeout has been taken. It's 7-0 South Oak Cliff, and now the players come back out on the field. Argyle's going to have it moving left to right from their own 40-yard line. And it is John Gailey in at quarterback. They've been alternating back and forth. As Lance Sandmillan will check in for a little bit here while Justin is headed down for the interviews. John Gailey wants to throw, and he will be sacked in the backfield. Billy Walton brings down John Gailey as we're now under 3 minutes, and the ball will be spotted at the 31-yard line. A loss of about 10, maybe 9. 3 receivers will be bunched together on the left side. Krzyzak goes in motion from left to right. John Gailey watches him cross him in front of him, and now this will be a handoff to R.J. Bunnell, who hit hard right in the mouth at the 34-yard line, and that actually was Landon Ferris on his, I believe, first carry of the night. It'll be 2nd down and 19. And now if you're Argyle, do you just kind of start milking the clock a little bit?
Hey, these defenses are both scary. It's the way this is going right now, I definitely think about milking the clock.
2:05 and an end around reversed. Gailey wants to throw, however, deep down the field. South Oak Cliff was not fooled by it as Malik Muhammad was stride for stride with Krzyzak. And now the punt team will come on.
That's why neither of us are down there coaching. Big time.
Yeah, I thought for sure they were going to try to milk it.
Yeah, no, let's go deep. That's 60-yard pass.
So 1:58 on the clock. And the punt team comes on.
The game of field position has just been the toughest thing with the punting right now.
Trey Batson punts it away. It goes out of bounds. And South Oak Cliff will have 1 minute and 50 seconds to try to score before the half. They can get double points right here. As they're going to get the football back to start the second half. And if they're able to score right here, You know, you're starting about having some huge momentum. You know, in the early parts of the third quarter, you could be really thinking about icing this thing away if you can get back-to-back scores right here.
I brought extra sheets tonight for stats and everything, thinking offensive powers that they've got, defensive battle. We got one score in this game.
I thought we were going to have maybe 70 points scored in this football game, perhaps. I was very wrong. Handoff, near side, Javon Thomas. And he'll skirt out of bounds at the 39-yard line. A gain of 4 or 5 for South Oak Cliff as they move right to left. 1:46 on the clock as he steps out of bounds. It stops it. 7-0. The Golden Bears of Dallas ISD's South Oak Cliff are in the lead over the Argyle Eagles in the state semifinal game. 2 receivers up top, 1 at the bottom. Man goes in motion. Motion is Corinthian Coleman, and a flag is down as Coleman went in motion. It'll be a false start against South Oak Cliff.
Yeah, that's their 4th penalty, their 2nd false start of the night. Hadn't been that bad, but when he gets in this kind of game, every yardage, 5 yards is huge when these defenses are playing like this.
That'll move the ball back to the 36, I believe the 34-yard line. Again, it's getting really tough to see. The fog is getting thicker and thicker and thicker as this thing goes.
It's an American Werewolf in London. Little CCR, the Bad Moon Horizon, but you're not going to see it.
2nd down and 11, right to left, South Oak Cliff. 1:46 on the clock. William Little will give to Javon Thomas around the right edge. He's met right in the backfield, or forward progress will take him to the line of scrimmage. But, man alive, these defenses are making a statement tonight, both sides of the ball.
Yeah, I don't know what you do, some misdirection or something to start changing it up, because it's assignment football defensively. They're doing a great job keeping everything covered up.
Well, you heard Todd Rogers in the pregame show. He says South Oak Cliff, they don't do a whole lot of things, but what they do it very well. And
I'm impressed with both defenses. I keep saying they because I'm talking about 2 teams out there with defenses that are playing ball tonight.
2nd down and 11. We near the 1-minute mark. 3rd down and 11. A timeout, I think, is going to be called by South Oak Cliff, and they do. We'll take a quick one, too. We'll be right back right after this.
Nelson Law Group, PC, located at 700 Parker Square, Suite 134 in Flower Mound, offers assistance with family, business law, and estate planning services. Attorney Brett Nelson has over 25 years' experience, and you can reach him at 972-808-7227 or online at nelsonlawgrouppc.com.
Dallas ISD offers more school choice options than any other school or district in the city. Explore them all at dallasisd.org/discover. Your one-stop shop to browse and select the right opportunity for your child. The application deadline is January 31st, so visit dallasisd.org/discover and apply today. The choice is yours. Turn your kids' options into opportunities.
.108 on the clock. South Oak Cliff with the ball at their own 34-yard line. Moving right to left with a 7-0 lead over Argyle. It's the 5A Division II state semifinal. Crowley ISD Multipurpose Stadium is the scene. William Little wants to throw. Deep ball left side. Corinthian Coleman makes a great catch just shy of midfield. That's a first down at the 102 mark.
Well, a great catch. What a better pass. That pass was incredible, right on the money.
Back shoulder, only Corinthian Coleman could have made it. And it stopped the clock. No, it didn't. It rolls at 50. I thought he got out of bounds. William Little rolls out right, wants to throw on the run, and it's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver just couldn't haul it in, and that was Miles Johnson. So it'll be second down and 10 with 44 seconds left to go in the second.
I was just going to say, I think anything that's a hands catch is going to be so difficult right now. Everything is slick. Every surface out there is slick with this fog that's just setting into the ground. So you got to hit them right in the chest.
Two receivers bunched together up top on the far side. One down here at the bottom. We haven't seen Jamari Crowley since he went out early in the first quarter. Here's a deep ball pass to the 27-yard line. That's going to be caught. Corinthian Coleman again. A huge catch. All he does is make big catches. And he does there to the 29-yard line. A timeout's been called. 37 seconds. South Oak Cliff trying to punch it in right before the half. It's 7-0. The Golden Bears are in the lead.
Yeah, Corinthian Coleman, he goes up. He leaps to get it up there into his body, to catch it with his body and arms, because, like I said, it is slick out there. You can tell by even on some of the tackling and blocking.
That catch was like the Michael Irvin catch in the Super Bowl where he went up for it, caught it in midair where his leg was, he was kind of bent over in the air.
I remember
the
that.
pass from Troy Aikman at the goal line, it was exactly that type of catch from Corinthian Coleman. Just a beautiful snag. We'd like to thank our sponsors. Tonight's game is being broadcast live at TexasSportsProductions.com. Millennium Sports wishes to thank our broadcast sponsors. Bilderberry Funeral Directors of Denton, Rodenbaugh Flooring America, Kitchen, Bed, and Bath of Allen, Nelson Law Group, PC of Flower Mound, the Dallas Independent School District, Joseph Paul Homes of Fairview, booklet Walking Through the Valley of Grief by author James C. Bivens, available now at Amazon, and Harris Ratings Weekly of Corinth. First down and 10, right to left. South Oak Cliff, William Little looks to the sideline, wants to play. In the backfield with him is Tedrick Williams, the big, huge offensive line right in front of him.
Oh, my
the
goodness.
ball is snapped right past Little. He has to go back for it. Diving for it, and I believe he got on it. He was looking around, and the ball was snapped while he wasn't paying attention. And now that's a huge break for Argyle. Just a massive break. And now the clock continues to roll, and I think South Oak Cliff is going to be South Oak Cliff's going to be content with letting this thing run out. It still rolls at 10, 9. It's second down and 30. No hurry up whatsoever for the Golden Bears. One last play, perhaps. William Little fires it deep down the left side, rather. It's going to be caught, but time expires, or does it? He got out of bounds. They're going to say that's the end of the first half. What a break for Argyle as the ball went skipping past William Little from the center. A bad exchange. Just a huge break for Argyle. South Oak Cliff had a chance to score right there. Let's turn Justin's mic on. I think he'll be ready to talk to Coach Jason Todd here in just a moment as he walks off the field.
Well, that was a shame. South Oak Cliff had just come out of a timeout, and you think they've got everything discussed, and they weren't on the same page, center and quarterback.
Whenever Justin is ready, he'll just pop on.
I got Coach Todd here. Coach, an offensive battle. What do you tell your kids?
We're going to keep playing hard. We got 24 minutes to go to get back state championship.
What offense? How do you get the offense kind of going here?
I guess we got to play better. Start with the coaches, and we'll figure something out now.
Good luck second half, Coach.
All right, that interview with Coach Todd brought to you by Dallas ISD. We're going to take a quick timeout. When we come back, we'll have some stats for you, a scoring summary, and scoreboard, and all that good stuff. We'll be right back right after this.
Serving the Allen area since 1962. Rodenbaugh's Flooring America Kitchen, Bed, and Bath won't sell it if we can't service it. We have the names you trust: Whirlpool and KitchenAid appliances, plus Sealy and Tempur-Pedic mattresses, along with Whirlpool and Maytag washers and dryers. We finance and deliver. Our showroom is located at 102 West Main Street in Allen. Details online at rodenbaughs.com. You've got the hometown advantage with Rodenbaughs.
Founded in 1990, the DeBerry Funeral Directors, located at 2025 West University Drive in Denton, offer traditional services to cremations or anything in between. The Bill DeBerry family provide ongoing pre-planning and pre-need services, making the life transition smoother. Details are available online at DeBerryFuneralDirectors.com.
Nelson Law Group, PC, located at 700 Parker Square, Suite 134 in Flower Mound, offers assistance with family, business law, and estate planning services. Attorney Brett Nelson has over 25 years' experience, and you can reach him at 972-808-7227 or online at nelsonlawgrouppc.com.
Dallas ISD offers more school choice options than any other school or district in the city. Explore them all at dallasisd.org/discover. Your one-stop shop to browse and select the right opportunity for your child. The application deadline is January 31st, so visit dallasisd.org/discover and apply today. The choice is yours. Turn your kids' options into opportunities.
Welcome back. We're at the half, where South Oak Cliff leads 7-0 here over Argyle. And the bands are pretty loud out there. We can tell it's halftime because of how loud the band is. But we're going to do the scoring drive recap. The scoring summary brought to you by Rodenbaugh's, as we're in the Rodenbaugh's Flooring America Bed and Bath halftime show. The scoring drive summary is not going to take very long. The scoring summary is this. In the first quarter, South Oak Cliff scored. That's basically it. Now, we'll give you the details. Okay. It was 10 plays, 74 yards on the drive. It took 4 minutes and 13 seconds off the clock. And it was Javon Thomas on a 29-yard touchdown run. And that brought us to our score 7-0. And that's it. That's all the scoring that's taken place so far in this football game. Now, South Oak Cliff really had the only other opportunity to perhaps score as they were marching down at the end of the first half moments ago on a big catch from Corinthian Coleman. Two big catches from Coleman.
Two big catches.
And a snap that went by William Little, who was not paying attention or looking the other way, or the snap was snapped at the wrong time. We don't know what happened right there, but miscommunication, and that took the opportunity away from South Oak Cliff to score right before the half, and then have a chance to score as they're going to get the ball here to start the second half, which could have doubled up points and really changed this football game, Lance Sandmillan, but they weren't able to do it.
I don't see a change coming in this football game. I see these defenses controlling this thing the rest of the way. Somebody's going to have to come up with something big, a big turnover, or the South Oak Cliff maybe throwing the ball more, which is something out of their element. They look pretty good to a couple of receivers, so we'll see.
Let's go over the Nelson Law Group stat board. Lance, if you want to go ahead and try to run down some stats for us. There's not a lot of huge stats out there either.
No, it's pretty quick stats we've got here. South Oak Cliff, 7 first downs, Argyle 5. In total yards, South Oak Cliff 121, the Argyle Eagles with 67. And passing yards, South Oak Cliff 59, Argyle only 7 on the half. Completion attempts, South Oak Cliff 8 of 11, Argyle is 1 for 7. And then yards per pass, South Oak Cliff has 5.36 yards per catch, and Argyle has just a 1. Interceptions thrown, none at this time, so we don't have any interceptions. Rushing yards, South Oak Cliff 62 yards, Argyle 60. They've been penalized 4 times. South Oak Cliff has against Argyle 0 still. Still no penalties for Argyle. No turnovers for either team. Had a couple of fumbles. We've seen the ball on the ground, but none of them have lost it yet. South Oak Cliff in passing, William Little, he is 8 of 11 for 59 yards. He's got a 72% rate right now. Argyle in passing, John Gailey, he's got 1 completion on 7 attempts and 7 total yards. South Oak Cliff in rushing, Jalen Thomas leading that, 7 carries, 57 yards. Danny Green, 6 carries, 19 yards. Tedrick Williams, 3 carries, 7 yards. And then Argyle in rushing, R.J. Bunnell, 9 carries, 41 yards. Jacob Robertson, 6 carries, 31 yards. Landon Ferris, 3 carries, 5 yards. Receiving for South Oak Cliff, we talked about him, Corinthian Coleman. He's got those 2 big catches, 37 yards. And then Joshua Manley, 2 catches for 10 yards. Argyle receiving Will Graziak. He only has the 1 catch for 7 yards. That's the only reception for Argyle. That's your stats for this first half.
Stats are brought to you by Nelson Law Group. Tonight's game is being broadcast live at TexasSportsProductions.com. Millennium Sports wishes to thank our broadcast sponsors: Build-A-Berry Funeral Directors of Denton, Rodenbaugh's Flooring, America Kitchen Bed and Bath of Allen, Nelson Law Group PC of Flower Mound, the Dallas Independent School District, Joseph Paul Homes of Fairview, booklet Walking Through the Valley of Grief by author James C. Bivens, available now on Amazon, Harris Ratings Weekly of Corinth. Again, it's the Rodenbaugh's Flooring America Bed and Bath halftime show. In a moment, we'll have Dr. Sylvia Salinas join us with an interview for Dallas ISD. We'll be right back right after this timeout.
But a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Since 1963, the Harris Ratings Weekly has provided Texas high school football coaches and fans complete rating services, including the power ratings for all UIL football teams, from 2A to 6A, with the top 10 rankings and the point differentials for each game each week. For more information, call Harris Ratings Weekly and Van Harris at 940-498-5176. That's 940-498-5176. And they're online at harrisratings.com. Harris Ratings Weekly, another proud supporter of Millennium Sports football broadcasts.
Rodenbaugh's Flooring, America Kitchen Bed and Bath of Allen is your kitchen upgrade headquarters, featuring top-rated brands like Amana, KitchenAid, Maytag, and Whirlpool, and beautiful Cambria quartz countertops for the bedroom, Sealy, and Tempur-Pedic beds. A must-see. Rodenbaugh's Flooring, such as hand-scraped hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and tile. Find details online at rodenbaughs.com or in our showroom at 102 West Main Street in Allen. You've got the hometown advantage with Rodenbaughs. If you or a friend have experienced a significant life loss, get the booklet Walk Through the Valley of Grief by author James C. Bivens. This booklet shares biblical help and is written and designed to help you successfully deal with grief. Walk Through the Valley of Grief is available online at Amazon.com. That's Walk Through the Valley of Grief.
Welcome back. We are at Crowley ISD Multipurpose Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas. That's a mouthful. It's halftime where South Oak Cliff leads 7-0 over Argyle. We have a very special guest with us, Dr. Sylvia Salinas, Athletic Director for Dallas ISD. Welcome to the booth.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Glad to have you. Let's talk a little bit about this. You know, it's a great football game so far. Let's talk about South Oak Cliff and what a great thing you have going right now. Let's talk about Coach Todd. I mean, just a great guy. I've had a chance over the past 2 years to really kind of get to know him a little bit. Just an outstanding human being and a good football coach.
Yeah, absolutely. Great football coach.
Yeah.
Just a great person overall, like genuine heart, kind. He's the real deal.
Yeah, he really is. And I tell you what, this program has become just amazing over the past several years, and what the South Oak Cliff football program has turned into is just something truly special. I think you've got to be really proud for what's going on there.
Absolutely. Coach Todd and his staff have done such a great job preparing our student athletes for success and continued success. Really hard workers. They study the game. They study our opponents, and they're well prepared.
So let's talk a little bit about the main factors that contribute to the success of Dallas ISD boys and girls sports. Talk about that.
Our coaches. I can't even go anywhere else with that. That's the first thing I think of. We have some really great coaches and teachers in our district, and they're the ones that help prepare our kids for success on and off the field. I think
South Oak Cliff has turned into, and I know we want to talk about all the Dallas ISD schools, but South Oak Cliff, as we're here, let's talk about what they have turned into as far as the football program. They have a chance really to be the I don't want to say the Salina of urban schools, but when you win like that, you start to attract other kids from the district, and they want to maybe go to South Oak Cliff. Do you think that might be happening a little bit?
It's attractive. It's attractive to everyone. They have a lot of momentum and a lot of interest from across the city and even across the state. We're doing great things, and they're building a dynasty, and I can credit everything to Coach Todd and his staff. Now,
athletics is so important. Wherever you are across the state of Texas, it's so important. But in order to capture the kids and make sure that, hey, let's face it, sometimes sports keeps kids in school. How important, and that's a huge part of your role. You're over that whole athletic program. Talk about that and what it means. And does that, how much weight does that carry on you?
It's more than the game, just building it, and just that whole saying, when you build it, they'll come. Yeah. And so our district has done a lot with the facilities. They've invested in our athletics programs, building great facilities, improving great facilities. We have, uniforms, equipment, everything that they need to be successful. And so that's attractive to people. They want to come to our schools. Our coaches are the ones that make that happen. They are the ones that create that environment for kids to be attracted to that, to come. Yep.
Now, I know we're at a football game, and it's a big football game, but you've also got a big basketball tournament coming up. Talk about that.
We do. 64-team basketball tournament. This is our 82nd annual holiday tournament. We have some really great teams coming through. We have 64 teams, 32 boys and 32 girls teams.
So talk about your tenure here. Is there a highlight moment for you to say, I did that? Is there anything like that for you here?
I don't take credit for anything. We have an amazing staff. We have great coaches, and putting it all together is just really orchestrating all of that to make sure that our coaches are successful. And when our coaches are successful, our kids are successful.
How long do you want to continue to do this as in the Dallas ISD? You got a pretty good gig here. How long do you want to stay?
As long as they'll have me. I'm just invested in Dallas. I've been here for over about 30 years now. And so I'm invested in our schools and our kids, and I love it. And so as long as they'll have me, I'm here.
So let's we're talking with Dr. Sylvia Salinas. She's the athletic director of Dallas ISD, executive director of athletics. You've got 29 years of experience, Southwest Texas State, bachelor's there in exercise and sports medicine, Northwestern State University, master's there in sports administration, University of North Texas, higher education, athletics administration, first female executive director in athletics for Dallas ISD. You've got quite the resume here, and I tell you, it's been awesome visiting with you, and I really appreciate you coming here to do this with us. Who's going to win this football game? What are we going to see in the second half from this?
Are you really asking me that
I know
question?
You're a little biased, but what are we going to see in the second half here?
Argyle's a good ball club. I can give them credit for that. But Dallas South Oak Cliff, we have to stay disciplined throughout the second half, maintain our momentum, and just keep it going and finish.
That's Dr. Sylvia Salinas, the athletic director for Dallas ISD. We thank you for the visit.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Thanks a lot.
All right, bye-bye.
We'll be back right after this timeout. You're listening to the Rodenboss Flooring America Bed and Bath Halftime Show.
Founded in 2008, Joseph Paul Homes of Fairview, Texas, builds true luxury homes custom designed by Joseph Vastano. Joseph Paul Homes builds all the way from Preston Hollow to Salina. featuring a unique designer's touch in each new home. Details are available at josephpaulhomes.com and on the Joseph Paul Homes Facebook page. The Vastano family proudly supports our local youth in their academic, athletic, and extracurricular endeavors.
A game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Texas. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the UIL and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Nelson Law Group PC of Flower Mound offers assistance with contract law, partnerships, and civil litigation. Brett Nelson is client-centered and maintains excellent communication to assist his clients best reaching their goals. Nelson Law can be reached at 972-808-7227 or online at nelsonlawgrouppc.com.
Millennium Sports hopes you enjoy this presentation of Bright Lights Game of the Week football. If you or family, your business, school organization, or church would like to support your team's quest to be best and share history, then contact John Froh, president of Millennium Sports, at 214-642-7003 or email jmfro@att.net. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back. We are at the half. Monty Walker along with Justin White and Lance Millen. It's 7-0. South Oak Cliff in the lead over Argyle. You're in the Roden Boss Flooring America Bed and Bath halftime show. We just had a chance to visit with Dr. Sylvia Salinas, and that was a fun time. I got a hug at the end of that. How about that? I got a hug. So let's go over our DeBerry Funeral Director scoreboard. Justin, why don't you take that one away?
All right. The game that matters, I guess, the most to this game is the game between Liberty Hill and Port Neches Grove, winners of Region 3 and Region 4. Port Neches Grove is starting to pull away from Liberty Hill, 32-14. That is in the fourth quarter. The game that kind of maybe is a little bit more to us from up Grayson County way. Gunner defeats Canadian 21-20 in that one. So Gunner will go on to the state championship game. And that's pretty much all the games we got. A lot of them are going to be on tomorrow. China Springs over Decatur 24-7. That is at the half. Bernie up on Chapel Hill out of Tyler 28-0. Denton Guyer will play DeSoto. That'll be tomorrow at the Star at 2:30. And then Duncanville, we play in Prosper over at Ford Stadium in SMU. That will be tomorrow at 4 o'clock. So still got some Metroplex teams still playing ball.
That's your Dewberry Funeral Director scoreboard. Thank you, Justin White. Don't forget, join us next Friday and Saturday for the 6A Division II and 5A Division II UIL State Championship games live from Cowboy Stadium in Arlington, otherwise known as AT&T Stadium. For information on future Millennium Sports Playoff game broadcasts, visit @MSN on TSP at Twitter. Join us next week for the state championships Friday with 5A Division II starting at 6:20 p.m. airtime. And Division II, 6A Division II at 2:20 airtime. We're going to take a quick time out. You're listening to the Roden Boss Flooring America Bed Bath halftime show. We'll be right back at 7-0. South Oak Cliff in the lead over Argyle.
If you or a friend have experienced a significant life loss, get the booklet Walk Through the Valley of Grief by author James C. Bivens. This booklet shares biblical help and is written and designed to help you successfully deal with grief. Walk Through the Valley of Grief is available online at Amazon.com. That's Walk Through the Valley of Grief.
Dallas ISD offers more school choice options than any other school or district in the city. Explore them all at dallasisd.org/discover. Your one-stop shop to browse and select the right opportunity for your child. The application deadline is January 31st, so visit dallasisd.org/discover and apply today. The choice is yours. Turn your kids' options into opportunities.
Since 1963, the Harris Ratings Weekly has provided Texas high school football coaches and fans complete rating services, including the power ratings for all UIL football teams, from 2A to 6A, with the top 10 rankings and the point differentials for each game each week. For more information, call Harris Ratings Weekly and Van Harris at 940-498-5176. That's 940-498-5176. And they're online at harrisratings.com. Harris Ratings Weekly, another proud supporter of Millennium Sports football broadcasts.
Rodenbaugh's Flooring America Kitchen Bed and Bath of Allen is your kitchen upgrade headquarters, featuring top-rated brands like Amana, KitchenAid, Maytag, and Whirlpool, and beautiful Cambria quartz countertops for the bedroom, Sealy, and Tempur-Pedic beds. A must-see. Rodenbaugh's flooring such as hand-scraped hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and tile. Find details online at rodenbaughs.com or in our showroom at 102 West Main Street in Allen. You've got the hometown advantage with Rodenbaughs.
Welcome back to Crowley ISD Multi-Purpose Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas. 7-0, South Oak Cliff in the lead here as we're at the half, and they're going to get the football first to start. Justin, that takes us to our second half scouting report. By the way, the interview with Dr. Sylvia Salinas was brought to you by Dallas ISD. But let's talk about this second half scouting. You're in the Rodenbaugh Flooring America Bed Bath halftime show, Justin. South Oak Cliff's going to get the ball first, which is very important. That's why they deferred to the second half, because they felt like this was going to be this kind of football game, and they were right, and they're going to get the football to start this thing first.
Yeah, I think this is the kind of the way they play it. They've had some self-inflicted wounds. When I did the interview with Coach Todd, Coach Todd did not look happy, and I wonder if it was part of, shooting themselves in the foot with the bad snap that dropped them back, and I just don't think he was proud of his players the way they played there in the first half. I think you got to get the passing game going a little bit. Get it to your athletes out on the outside and see if they can loosen things up out there. And your defense continue to play what they've been doing. I mean, they allowed no points in that first half.
I think we're going to have to get you down on the field, so we'll let Lance slide in here for just a moment and finish up this scouting report for the second half. Justin's going to be down on the field trying to talk with Coach Todd Rogers here before we get back to the second half. But Lance, he's going to step in here for just a second. It's a big, obviously everything is for the marbles on this one. This is the reason that you go through all the two-a-days and all of that. I mean, you go. This is the reason you put the pads on in August and you lift all those weights and you do all those things. I mean, this is exactly the reason for that.
Yeah, you say pull out all the stops. I mean, if you've got any plays you've been holding back, now's not the time to hold back.
Yeah.
Get them out there.
The last 24 minutes of the football season is coming up for someone. And South Oak Cliff's going to get the football first. What are they going to have to do to continue to be successful in this football game?
Right now, just contain Argyle's offense. I mean, if you got a shutout, no matter what you can put on your side, you're going to win the football game. So they're shooting a shutout right now. So you keep what you're doing and play that defense. And they've got a great punter. They're doing good things on field position. As long as you don't have the turnover, that sometimes bites you.
How big of an injury was it to your leading receiver, Jamari Cawley, for South Oak Cliff? I know they're not a throwing football team, but it does take away your big play guy.
Yeah, he's your home run man when you're sucking him up on the run and then chunk it downfield to him. And right now, he's out. We don't know if we'll see him this second half. I don't know what the updates are, but hopefully he can get back in the football game.
If you're Argyle and you want to, if you're going to overcome South Oak Cliff and you're in a defensive battle right now, you've got to score twice. It could be field goal and a touchdown, but you've got to score twice, once by a touchdown. How are they going to do that against the South Oak Cliff defense?
The only success they've had, they've mixed it up with bringing the running quarterback in and changing that up. It changed up the speed a little bit, and I think that's what you have to do is counteract that speed of South Oak Cliff, run some counter-type things, some misdirection, and see if you can get them off balance, basically. So
South Oak Cliff and Argyle warming up. Argyle now running to the tunnel. And, of course, South Oak Cliff doesn't have the tunnel. We didn't talk about that in the pregame show. But look out here, and you can see it looks like smoke across the field, but that's actually a haze of fog.
It is a heavy fog.
And it's blowing.
Can you see across the field to the other stand?
It's getting really tough to see.
I can't make out anybody over there for anything.
Argyle comes through the tunnel, and that 3 minutes went by very quickly. I hope that Justin White's going to be able to interview Coach Todd Rogers as the Argyle Eagles have made their way through.
They came out kind of early. That's what they did. There's still time out there. South Oak Cliff still stretching over there on the other side.
Well, Justin's going to have to fight through some traffic now to try to find Coach Rogers, but we'll see if he's able to. Again, you're in the Rodenbaugh Flooring America Bed and Bath halftime show. If Justin is able to catch Coach Rogers, it will be brought to you by Rodenbaugh's Flooring America of Allen. While he's trying to do that, let's go over our sponsors for tonight. It'll be tonight's game is being broadcast live at TexasSportsProductions.com. Millennium Sports wishes to thank our broadcast sponsors: Build-A-Berry Funeral Directors of Denton, Rodenbaugh Flooring America Kitchen Bed and Bath of Allen, Nelson Law Group PC of Flower Mound, the Dallas Independent School District, Joseph Paul Holmes of Fairview, booklet Walking Through the Valley of Grief by author James C. Bivens, available now on Amazon, and Harris Ratings Weekly of Corinth. Justin tells us that he may not be able to visit with Coach Todd Rogers.
I don't think you can find him in the fog.
He may not. And they went really quickly here, and now Argyle's lining up to kick, so they don't want to waste any time. They're a quick-paced offense as it is. Now they're a quick-paced halftime.
Well, that may just be another significant thing that was talked about is we need to pick up the pace, and they picked it up from running out of the tunnel and ready to go. They're ready to kick off, and South Oak Cliff just now starting to get out in position on the return team.
Well, back deep to return, if I can even see. It's getting so foggy out there. Wow, it's so foggy. Davion Ennis.
How foggy is it?
Davion Ennis is one, Corinthian Coleman the other to return it. And the kick is going to be a deep one, and it will go into the end zone for a touchback. South Oak Cliff will be moving from our vantage point right to left from their own 25-yard line. And it is getting pretty thick. The fog is getting thick out there.
It is. I mean, we can't say it enough. And I think the biggest thing about it is settling on every surface. There is moisture settling on everything.
Again, South Oak Cliff in the lead 7-0 as they come out for their first play of the second half. In all white tonight. White pants, white jerseys, white helmets. All black is Argyle. Black pants, black helmets, black jerseys. Man goes in motion. From left to right, the H-back. William Little is going to hand off to the near side. And that will be Tedrick Williams for one of the few carries tonight for him. Up to the 20, they'll mark him at the 27-yard line. So only a gain of 2. I thought that was a bigger gain than that, but only 2.
Quarterback for South Oak Cliff, William Little, has yet to have just a straight carry. He's been just straight handoffs. I've been waiting for him to keep the ball and run.
You know, it's not really his game. He didn't do that a week ago either. We thought he might do that last week. He had 7 carries for 12 yards, but here's a handoff up the middle and met hard at the line of scrimmage, but surging forward is a little bit is Tedrick Williams. And he'll make it to the 30, which will set up a 3rd down and 5 for South Oak Cliff, who leads 7-0 with 11:06 here to go in the 3rd.
I'm not trying to suggest that he's a running quarterback. I'm just trying to suggest if you're trying to get against this defense, you're not getting much. maybe keep the ball there.
We haven't talked enough about Grant Mirabal,
right,
the linebacker for Argyle, headed to OSU.
Yeah, he's having a ball game, matter of fact.
Tedrick Williams in the gun will have two receivers to his right and one to the left. He wants to throw in the fog, throws it out right. That ball is incomplete. And you know how it is when you're on the field, there's not much fog, as Justin will tell us here in a moment as he steps back in the booth. On the field, it's pretty clear, I would imagine. Up here, you have to see through the dense fog up high.
Yeah, it's not clear at all.
That one falls incomplete, and it's punt time for South Oak Cliff at their own 30-yard line, 4th and 5. 10:37 on the clock. The Golden Bears of Dallas ISD lead 7-0. Kopecky back to punt. Fair catch called for by Krzyzak. And Argyle will move left to right from their own 25-yard line.
Yeah, Monty, the fog is it is worse up here. Down there, it is. You still feel the moisture there down there on the field, but it's not. You still see it's not as bad as it is up here in the third floor.
Let's take a quick timeout. 10:31 on the clock. 7-0. South Oak Cliff in the lead over Argyle. We'll be right back right after this.
If you are going through a complex divorce, it is crucial to have a competent lawyer with sound and practical advice. Nelson Law Group of Flower Mound's legal and life experiences will help you through difficult times. Voted best of Denton County since 2015. For a free consultation, go online to nelsonlawgrouppc.com.
Rodenbaugh's Flooring, America Kitchen Bed and Bath of Allen is your kitchen upgrade headquarters, featuring top-rated brands like Amana, KitchenAid, Maytag, and Whirlpool, and beautiful Cambria quartz countertops for the bedroom, Sealy, and Tempur-Pedic beds. A must-see. Rodenbaugh's Flooring, such as hand-scraped hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and tile. Find details online at rodenbaughs.com or in our showroom at 102 West Main Street in Allen. You've got the hometown advantage with Rodenbaughs.
Welcome back here at Crowley ISD Multi-Purpose Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas. Hey, if you want another good game to listen to, you can tune in tomorrow on Texas Sports Productions, where it will be Denton Geyer and DeSoto at 1:20 airtime. Lynn Burkhead along with John Froh, live from Cowboys Star.
That's going to be a shootout, those two teams.
10:31 here, left to go in the third. South Oak Cliff in the lead, 7-0. And it's getting so foggy, it's really hard to see down on the field. And Argyle will hand off to R.J. Bunnell, and it was John Gailey starting at quarterback here. Now, again, they've done most of their damage offensively with the backup quarterback, Jacob Robinson. Now, Robinson, he's a senior, and John Gailey is a junior, and they kind of alternate every once in a while. Gailey will get it here. He'll option it out the right side. That's going to be R.J. Bunnell again. Not enough for a first down, but he's inching ever so close, and will set up a 3rd and short at the 32-yard line.
On that speed option, Krzyzak got a good, just chipped one of his guy, one of the defensive backs for South Oak Cliff, just to give Bunnell enough time to get around that corner.
3rd and 3, Argyle going quickly. Into the game is Robinson, the quarterback, trying to get the first down as he just sprints towards the sideline. He uses his speed to get over there, and I think he did. It's getting to the point now where it's hard to see the chains on the far side, but I can see a little bit of movement over there as they do move the chains. It's first down. 9:49 on the clock here in quarter number 3. South Oak Cliff in the lead, 7-0, but Argyle on the move. This is a handoff to R.J. Bunnell as Argyle moving quickly. Checking back into the game is John Gailey at quarterback. Nothing doing there. It'll be 2nd down and 10 for Argyle in all black against South Oak Cliff in all white. 2nd and 11. They'll say he lost a yard. Gailey coming near side. That's Robinson again, however, and he'll gain 4 on the quarterback keeper around the right edge, heading left to right. And they'll spot it at the 40-yard line. And again, Argyle moves quickly.
Really, all the success they've had is just outside runs with Jacob Robinson. Occasionally you'll see R.J. Bunnell spin away for 3 or 4 or 5 extra yards, but it's been mostly Robinson with the yardage.
8:55 and moving in quarter number 3. They try to draw South Oak Cliff off sides, and there is a flag down. We'll have to check and see what this is. By the way, Gunner won tonight, 21-20 over Canadian. So they will advance, and the boys up in district, what is that, 5-3A?
I believe so, yeah.
They'll have to wait another week to get their all-district selections. Because Gunner, boy, I tell you what, they're going to take it all the way again, it appears. 8:40 on the clock, 7-0 South Oak Cliff. Man goes in motion from left to right. That could have been a illegal formation. A quick pitch and a strikeout from John Gailey to Will Krzyzak. Not enough for a first down, and Argyle will have to punt.
Kind of a comeback route, but you get when you have those kind of routes, you got to kind of know where the chains are, get past the first down marker, and then come back to the ball. He was about 3 or 4 yards short when he broke off the route.
Trey Batson, to do the punting charge, will stand at his own 28-yard line. Punts it away. The ball doesn't get very far off the ground as his foot hits the ball. But a good punt nonetheless down to the 22-yard line.
Man, Monty, I almost lost that ball when it on the far sideline over there on South Oak Cliff. You almost lose the ball when it bounces because of the fog from up here.
Pretty good punt. And South Oak Cliff will start, and it is. You're right. Now, here's the thing. Those South Oak Cliff offensive linemen are so big, I still see them.
You see that? Yeah.
They're hard to miss. Even through all the fog, you can still see them.
Well,
it's getting pretty tough to do the game, I'll be honest with you.
It's hard to miss 6'5", 350 pounds, 6'6", 305. It's hard to miss that, even in the fog.
William Little and Danny Green in the backfield. It'll be a handoff to Green. He'll gain 3 or 4 yards, we think, to the 29-yard line. I mean, it's to the point. It's a good thing they have the big scoreboard.
You're
because
right.
At some point we may just have to do the game off the scoreboard. But here's a false start against South Oak Cliff. They'll back this one up. So not a good start for South Oak Cliff here in the second half.
You may have to correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels like there's been quite a few penalties, more than last week on this offensive line for South Oak Cliff.
We'll get that in just a moment. 3 false starts, says Lance Sandmillan. 7:50 on the clock here in the third. 7-0. South Oak Cliff in the lead.
Coach Todd is out to the numbers talking to one of the officials, getting an explanation, I guess, about that penalty, about that false start.
So it's first down and 15 for the Golden Bears of South Oak Cliff. William Little in the gun. Has a receiver to either side, but this will be a handoff up the middle as the ball was spotted on the right hash. It'll be Danny Green. He's good for a few yards. They'll get some of it back, but not nearly enough to try to attract another first down. The ball will be spotted near the 25-yard line. It'll still be second down and 11 perhaps. I'm telling you, we're to the point now where we can't really see the other side of the field.
I'm having a hard time seeing numbers.
First and 15, that's not right. Second down and 11. Handoff near side. And again, not much doing there. Danny Green again was trapped along the line of scrimmage, and the defenses for each side are just outstanding. I can't stress enough. And again, Grant Mirabal, who's headed to OSU, has just had a tremendous game at his middle linebacker position.
Yeah, they do a great job. I spoke about this linebacking crew for Argyle earlier, how they do a great job of tackling, pursuing the ball, and not a lot get past this linebacker crew for Argyle.
Mirabal just stands right behind his nose guard and just spies the football. 6:24 on the clock. Man goes in motion out of the backfield. They thought about screening to him, but now Little will throw it deep down the field, and I believe that's intercepted, and it is. Picked off by Devin Owen. 6 foot, 190-pound junior, and Argyle all of a sudden is in great shape to tie the game as the interception takes place on the South Oak Cliff side of the football field at the 28-yard line.
Boy, that is what Argyle needed, is not only a turnover, but a turnover on the South Oak Cliff side of the field here at the 28-yard line. And I couldn't even see from the far side, so I can't give any kind of analysis. What did you see anything on the?
Well, it was intended for the receiver Joshua Manley, and when Danny Green went sprinting out of the backfield, my triggers went up that it was going to be a screen out to Danny. They've done that before.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first thought, is you're going to have a screen pass to the running back. But William Little decided no, he was going to go downfield with it. And that's when trouble happened.
Now, Argyle, you get your first turnover of the game. On this side of the field, you got to capitalize now.
Handoff left side. I believe, my goodness, it's so hard to see. I think it was Landon Ferris, and it was it's so hard to see.
It was a play action. He rolled.
I apologize to the listeners that we're trying to give a description of what's going on, but we can't see through the fog. It's so hard to see. But Landon Ferris tried to roll out of the backfield, and they tried to throw it to him, and it was incomplete.
This is Robinson on the carry on the left side.
Robinson at the quarterback position, and it appears he'll stay in the game. There's two receivers to the near side.
Well, what I saw was that on that incomplete pass to Ferris was a missed opportunity because he had him wide open on the far sideline. He just let him too far out of bounds. I believe that was Gailey with that throw. Missed opportunity by Argyle.
Robinson stays into the game at quarterback. R.J. Bunnell checks in at tailback. Shotgun formation. Robinson's going to keep it over left tackle. He's inside the 20 to the 18-yard line, maybe even the 17. And I think he's going to have a first down.
He went around the left side and just went straight ahead. And, I mean, he hit a South Oak Cliff, one of the defensive backs. Defensive backs hit him right about the waist and brought him down immediately, but it was enough for the first down. I think they had moved the chains. I thought I saw an official say move the chains. But
surely they're not going to measure this, are they?
Uh-oh, we're going to see.
Is this our third measure of the season?
Yeah, I think we saw two in one night.
That's very unusual for them to pull the chains these days, but looks like they may do that.
They are doing that. Problem is we can't see how close or how far they are.
No way to tell. I don't even know that they can tell. How are they going to be able to see that? Boy, it is close.
It's short.
It's short by about 6 inches, apparently. There's 5:25 on the clock in the third quarter. South Oak Cliff in the lead, 7-0, but Argyle on the move, facing a fourth down and inches. And anytime they're 3rd and 5 or 4th and 5, needing a first down, they put Robinson in at quarterback, and he basically just sprints towards the sideline to try to get the first down. They did it that time, but he was unable to pick it up.
But you only need about a yard this time. Maybe really half a yard.
Well, they're going heavy set. Van Poppel in the backfield.
And under center.
2 H-back set. John Gailey under center, and they're just going to try to push him across. No possible way he didn't get that first down.
He got it.
They put the tight ends behind him and just pushed him across. 5:13 and rolling here in quarter number 3, 7-0. South Oak Cliff in the lead, but Argyle starting to have something to say about that score. The ball spotted at the 16-yard line, 17-yard line. We're having to rely on the scoreboard much more than we generally do because of the fog. Handoff to R.J. Bunnell to the 15-yard line.
Just a handoff to Bunnell, just right up the gut. Gets about 2 or 3 yards.
At some point, do you wonder if the fog hits the field?
When I was down there, it hadn't yet. Like I said, it feels like it's more up here, up on the second, third floor of the press box.
4:27 and rolling. Quarter number 3. Argyle. This will be Robinson. He's going to hand it off Up the middle, inside the 15 is the back, which is Bunnell again.
That interior defensive line is being stingy right now, so this is going to be a key third down for Argyle.
We've got 2 yards in a cloud of fog.
Right.
Robinson in the gun. 2 receivers near side. Handoff. Bunnell up the middle to the 10-yard line. And they're just trying to wear out the interior of the defensive line, and I think the field goal team may be trying to come out here.
Yeah, looks like they're going to try to kick a field goal. He was they're about 2 yards short. Try to kick a field goal.
The kicker is Carter Buxton. The holder will be Colton Rockemore. And it appears to be a 27-yard field goal, which is up, and apparently it is good. We cannot see the ball go through the uprights, but the officials signal it is good, so Argyle is on the board. 3:09 left to go in the third, in what's this, Fogageddon?
Yeah, it's Fog Bowl here.
7-3. South Oak Cliff in the lead. We'll take a quick timeout. We'll be right back.
Since 1963, the Harris Ratings Weekly has provided Texas high school football coaches and fans complete rating services, including the power ratings for all UIL football teams, from 2A to 6A, with the top 10 rankings and the point differentials for each game each week. For more information, call Harris Ratings Weekly and Van Harris at 940-498-5176. That's 940-498-5176. And they're online at harrisratings.com. Harris Ratings Weekly, another proud supporter of Millennium Sports football broadcasts.
Millennium Sports hopes you enjoy this presentation of Bright Lights Game of the Week football. If you or family, your business, school organization, or church would like to support your team's quest to be best and share history, then contact John Froh, president of Millennium Sports, at 214-642-7003 or email jmfro@att.net. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back to Crowley ISD Multipurpose Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas. 3:09 left to go in the third quarter. South Oak Cliff leading this football game 7-3. Argyle just scored. It was an 8-play, 28-yard drive that took 3 minutes and 3 seconds off the clock. It was a Carter Buxton 27-yard field goal to give Argyle their first points of the evening. And now South Oak Cliff, at some point, if they're going to make it to the final game, the final round, they've got to start doing something offensively, Justin White.
Yeah, they're going to have to. I mean, the ground game is there, but it's very limited. I mean, it's almost like Argyle has keyed in on the running game and said, we're going to make William Little beat us. You're going to have to pass the ball if you're going to beat us, because we're going to key in on Danny Green and Tedrick Williams, Javon Thomas. We're going to key in on the guys, and we're going to make William Little beat us through the air.
And it appeared like South Oak Cliff was just trying to. It appeared like South Oak Cliff was trying to do too much a moment ago. And here is the kick.
Kick is out of bounds. It's going to be first and 10 for South Oak Cliff.
Pardon us, the Crowley ISD Multipurpose Stadium
staff,
crew members and staff needed to visit with us for our passes, so we handed those over. And not that anybody really needs to know anything about that, but here we are with South Oak Cliff with the football moving right to left at their own 30-yard line. It's been a great experience over here at Crowley. A wonderful staff and just a beautiful complex.
Really is. Just the fog has brought the.
if they could just keep the fog out.
Yeah.
Can you work on that, guys? $40 million and you can't even keep the fog out. William Little in the gun with two receivers to either side or one either side. A handoff up the middle. And again, playing the ground game, South Oak Cliff and Danny Green. They'll gain a couple. Not much there. South Oak Cliff, now you're getting in. You want to try to milk this clock as much as you can because your defense has been outstanding. The only score Argyle has is off the interception in the short field. Other than that, nada. Not even close. None. Zero. Zilch. Zippy.
It's like the closer they get to the goal line, the tighter the screws get for South Oak Cliff defense.
Second down and 8. Handoff near side. And that's Green again on a first down run. That's Tedrick Williams. That's a big run by Williams. The only way you can tell it's Williams at this point is because he has neon green gloves. He's the only back with neon green gloves, and that's just about the only thing you can see down there at this point.
Norda Stoker, left tackle, the SMU commit, got a good block to kind of seal that left side to give a little hole for Williams.
So illegal formation for South Oak Cliff will bring that one back. There were 5 men in the backfield. So that wipes off the big gainer by Tedrick Williams.
Again, it seems like we've seen more penalties on South Oak Cliff than last week.
Last year, for sure. You know, we were able to cover the Golden Bears of South Oak Cliff a year ago on their way to their first ever state championship, and you hardly saw any penalties.
Mm-hmm.
It's not been that way in the playoffs thus far. 2:20 on the clock in the third. South Oak Cliff leading Argyle 7-3. Tedrick Williams in the backfield with William Little. He'll get the handoff, looking to go right side, and has a man on his back. And that's the outside backer, Caden Yates. Minimal gain. And again, South Oak Cliff backed up 2nd and 13 with 1:52 and rolling here in quarter number 3, up 7-3.
Well, not only do they have trouble passing the ball, but with these penalties, puts them behind the chains. That's even more help Argyle kind of pin their ears back on this offense.
3rd and 13, two receivers near side, one up top. South Oak Cliff moving right to left. Tedrick Williams drops back 3 steps, wants to throw, and that ball's tipped at the line of scrimmage and intercepted. Coming up with the football is Grant Mirabal, who's headed to Stillwater. And all of a sudden, Argyle's in position to take the lead in this football game with a touchdown. And they'll have it on the South Oak Cliff side of the field at the 33-yard line after the interception. The ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage.
I believe that was either Van Poppel or Darian Doyle over there who got the paw up on the...
It might have even been Yates. It's hard to see up. We're getting a video replay, but even it is a little foggy to see through it.
Well, Little looked to that left side, so everybody kind of saw him. He kind of wrote him a letter before he threw that pass, and Argyle was able to read it.
All of a sudden, John Gailey and company for Argyle. Drops back 2 steps, wants to throw. Hammers it deep down the field. It's going to be caught inside the 10 at the 5-yard line on the reception. I believe is Wayne Pritz. And all of a sudden, Argyle's in great shape to score and take the lead with 1:09 left to go in quarter number 3. Headed to our right, which is the south end zone.
It was a deep pass. They're on the inside. Maybe to break down the coverage on South Oak Cliff.
Gailey, handoff. Bunnel up the middle over left guard. He'll make his way to the 5-yard line. As we're close to the end of this third quarter. And now Robinson will check in at quarterback for Gailey. And when Robinson comes in, he likes to run. He'll just race to the edge of either offensive line, the left or the right. That's generally what he does. Bunnell right beside him, and Robinson takes off to the left side. He's inside the 5. He's down at the 2-yard line. And Argyle 2 yards away from taking the lead at the end of the third.
Okay, looks like we got a South Oak Cliff player down. Looking on the replay, Robinson went around the left side and tried to cut back inside, and South Oak Cliff did a good job of blocking him off there. Looked like Dylan Brown-Turner in on the tackle.
You know, it's one thing to be able to see these players from way up here in the press box on a normal night because we're up high, right? But we're staged above about the 40-yard line on the north side. So when you look down on the other side of the field, it's a long way down there. And now you've got a curtain of fog in front of you, which is extremely hard to see, and the players are starting to come back out.
Well, it's only the fog outside, but it's starting to fog up our windows as well, so it's really obstructing our view.
Yeah, this is definitely obstructive view seats, right?
That's the end.
That's the end of the third quarter. End of the third. We're in a barn burner at Crowley ISD Multi-Purpose Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas. South Oak Cliff in the lead, 7-3, but perhaps maybe momentarily as Argyle knocking on the door at the 2-yard line. We'll be right back.
Serving the Allen area since 1962. Rodenbaugh's Flooring America Kitchen Bed and Bath won't sell it if we can't service it. We have the names you trust: Whirlpool and KitchenAid appliances, plus Sealy and Tempur-Pedic mattresses, along with Whirlpool and Maytag washers and dryers. We finance and deliver. Our showroom is located at 102 West Main Street in Allen. Details online at rodenbaughs.com. You've got the hometown advantage with Rodenbaughs.
Welcome back. 7-3, South Oak Cliff in the lead. We're in quarter number 4 now at Crowley ISD Multi-Purpose Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas. Argyle appears to be knocking on the door, and when they get the lead, Justin White, I think I think you mentioned this during the timeout, South Oak Cliff's going to have a really hard time scoring. I almost wonder why they've taken some chances throwing the football recently. The past 2 pass attempts have been intercepted.
Yeah, you know, they may try to take a big play downfield. I think Argyle, as I said earlier, Argyle's starting to figure out this offense for South Oak Cliff and thinking if we can just contain the running game, then we'll be okay. The only thing is, you let one of these little running backs, they're almost able to get through in Tedrick Williams, Danny Green. They're very close to breaking one, but so far so good for the Argyle defense.
Well, here comes Argyle. At least they're closer to our vantage point as they flip sides of the field on the north end. 2 yards away from taking the lead. Robinson in at quarterback with Bunnell standing to his left. And H-back, the tight end, into the game, which is Hunter McFall. Waiting on the officials and the whistles so they can get ready and go here.
I think we're still in the TV timeout.
Yeah, while we're doing that,
we're waiting.
While we're doing that, let's go over to the sponsors tonight. Tonight's game is being broadcast live at TexasSportsProductions.com. Millennium Sports wishes to thank our sponsors, our broadcast sponsors, Bilderberry Funeral Directors of Denton, Rodenbaugh Flooring America Kitchen Bed and Bath of Allen. I think we're ready to go. We'll finish that in just a moment. Robinson in the backfield in shotgun formation. He'll take off, sprinting toward the left side, but whistles before this can get underway. This is going to be a false start against Argyle. Also, our sponsor tonight, Rodenbaugh Flooring America Kitchen Bed and Bath of Allen, Nelson Law Group PC of Flower Mound, the Dallas Independent School District, Joseph Paul Homes of Fairway, booklet Walking Through the Valley of Grief by author James C. Bivens, available now on Amazon, and Harris Ratings Weekly of Corinth. That's a big, big penalty right there, Justin.
And I think that was Robinson. I think it was on Robinson because he looked like he moved his feet just a little bit before he got that snap.
So instead of third down and goal from the 2, it's third down and goal from the 7.
The officials are having a conference.
At this point, we can't even see the far sideline. We only see white dots on the far side because of the fog. And the white dots, obviously, the jerseys, the players.
I think we got another band violation.
A band violation. And Todd Rogers not happy about that.
South Oak Cliff, I think, their band cannot play while Argyle.
The band can't play while the opposing team is on offense.
When can you play?
I've never heard. Yeah, I've never heard that. But now the crowd. This happened a week ago, and it backfired kind of on Melissa when the officials told the South Oak Cliff band to simmer it down, and then the fans got full throat. That's kind of what's happening right now with Argyle. This is another 2 H-back set. Gailey wants to throw in the end zone. It's incomplete over the head of McFall, his tight end, and it falls incomplete. 4th down coming up for Argyle, and again the kicking team will come out. Now, Argyle, if they're able to successfully boot this one through, will be down by 1. It's 4th down and 7. They'll spot the ball at the 14-yard line. So a 24-yard field goal attempt coming up for Carter Buxton. From the left hash, the right-footed kicker. The kick is up, and the kick is good. Our new score, 7-6. With 11:52 left to go in the game, South Oak Cliff in the lead by the narrowest, and I mean narrowest of margins. And we'll be right back right after this timeout.
If you are going through a complex divorce, it is crucial to have a competent lawyer with sound and practical advice. Nelson Law Group of Flower Mound's legal and life experiences will help you through difficult times. Voted best of Denton County since 2015. For a free consultation, go online to nelsonlawgrouppc.com.
Welcome back to Crowley ISD Multipurpose Stadium. Monty Walker along with Justin White, Lance Sandmillan. We're in Fort Worth, Texas. Your scoring drive recap for Aubrey was 4 plays, 33 yards. Took a minute 31 off the clock. It was a 24-yard field goal by Carter Buxton, his second field goal of the night. The first one was 27 yards. And that's all the scoring for Argyle. 2 field goals. And that's where we are, 7-6, South Oak Cliff in the lead. They had 1 touchdown from Javon Thomas early in the game. But since that, nada. And here's the kickoff that goes into the end zone. And South Oak Cliff, now you don't have to throw the football. You can do what you do by just running the football, controlling 2-3 yards at a time. Stop throwing the football, perhaps. And you don't have to make the big plays. You just got to stay in possession and control the field, control the clock. And we'll see if they stick to that, what they've done really all season. Man goes in motion. Corinthian Coleman from right to left. This will be a handoff to Tedrick Williams up the middle. From the right hash to the middle of the field in a gain of about 4. With 11:45 left to go in the game, 7-6, South Oak Cliff in the lead. They just need to chew the clock and chew the field.
Yeah, they're going to need to take their time each possession. Don't be any kind of a hurry.
2 receivers left, 1 right, shotgun, William Little. Tedrick Williams gets the handoff, right side looking for a seam, hit, and surges forward. He drags Argyle. A great run by Tedrick Williams will move the sticks. He was hit about 3 yards shy of the first down, but literally drove the linebackers for 3 or 4 yards to pick it up. They'll spot it at the 35-yard line.
Yeah, he got initially hit and just kept churning his legs, and I think got some help from the linemen and just pushed their way across that first down marker to move the chains.
Tedrick Williams checks out of the game. Danny Green checks in. William Little in the backfield, shotgun formation. Corinthian Coleman comes in motion from left to right. Handoff, Danny Green, whistles. No, this is Corinthian Coleman on the jet sweep from left to right. Again, if you're just tuning in, it's a heavy fog right over the stadium here at Crowley ISD Multipurpose Stadium. It's hanging over, it's thick, it's hard to see. But it's not hard to see on the field, it's just hard to see up here. Green in the backfield, 2 receivers to the left. He'll bounce it out left, skip right, turn, hit, That's going to be a loss, perhaps, maybe of a yard or two. Corinthian Coleman and some pushing and shoving from both teams, as I don't see flags, but there could have been there.
Danny Green got that handoff and kind of hid behind. He kind of bounced around a little bit, kind of hiding behind his left tackle and left guard over on the left side of the offensive line. But Argyle able to come through and take him down pretty quickly.
South Oak Cliff in all white, left to right from their own 39-yard line. 9:54 on the clock. Sauk leads 7-6. Facing a 2nd down and 5. Williams wants to throw, and he throws into double coverage, and that ball is incomplete.
Is it incomplete or intercepted?
I'm pretty sure it's incomplete. Miles Johnson was the intended receiver. But there is a flag around the intended receiver. It's pass interference against Argyle. That's a big play for South Oak Cliff right there.
Little tried to thread the needle between a couple of defenders, and I couldn't see. I thought it was incomplete as well. Was it incomplete?
It was incomplete.
But it was a pass interference. Okay.
It was pass interference. So, talking about, let's go back in this football game a little bit. How big is the play right before the half where the ball went sailing past William Little, which put a stop to a score? Man in motion, Corinthian Coleman from right to left. Green gets the handoff, running over right guard, right tackle, maybe 4 yards. As I'm really surprised, that's Tedrick Williams on the carry. I'm really surprised that South Oak Cliff really tried to throw the football there.
I think they're just, instead of running between the tackles, just trying to get a little bit creative, hoping just short passes, so hopefully it wouldn't fall incomplete, and maybe have their athletes do something in space.
William Little in the gun with 2 receivers up top, 1 at the bottom. Danny Green with a big seam to the left side. He's got the 40 on the Argyle side of the field. Pushes his way inside the 40 to the 37-yard line. And for the first time in a while, we've seen a big run from Danny Green and the offense.
Danny Green just runs bigger than he is. He doesn't go down with initial contact. He bounced off Dax Horney, the strong safety, and just kind of bounced off him and kept his momentum, kept going, got enough for the first down.
8:25 and rolling in the final quarter for one of these teams. 7-6, South Oak Cliff in the lead over Argyle. Little in the gun. He'll hand off to Green again. Over right guard again. Enough for let's see. That's going to be about 3 or 4 yards. Again, we can't see the sticks on the other side. That's how bad the fog is. So we're trying to rely on the scoreboard, which is always a no-no in the broadcast business. It'll be 2nd down and 6, but we can't see the sticks over there. William Little, for one of the first times tonight, is going to pull it out of the gun on the read option. He's inside the 30 and falls down after about a 6-yard gain to the 26-yard line. And you kept waiting for William Little to be able to run the football. Lance mentioned that during the half.
Yeah, a lot of these plays have been read option. In fact, they all been. And William Little, who's not much of a running threat, came in with 4 carries for 12 yards, no touchdowns. So he doesn't run the ball very often, but that time kept it, got around the left side, and got enough for the first down.
Tedrick Williams in at tailback, and he'll get the carry here and be met. It looked like a read option that went bad. Then I thought William Little and Tedrick Williams were kind of battling over the football on the read option. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Ball's at the 20. Gosh, what is that? The 26, 27-yard line. As you get closer, if you're not able to score, if you're South Oak Cliff, I wonder if you start to call on Diego Varela, who was successful last week at field goal kicking.
Tedrick Williams, handoff right side. That offensive line may perhaps be starting to wear down the Argyle defense as a big push there to the 20-yard line.
They're starting to get a push up front. They're starting to really push their weight on that defensive line for Argyle. and it's creating some holes. And he's just the running backs, William and Green, are just falling right behind those guys.
Green back into the game at tailback. William Little tries to send a man in motion. I think there might be some confusion. And now they're changing the play at the line of scrimmage. From the 20-yard line, handoff, Danny Green splits through the middle for 2 or 3 inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
So that's going to bring up 4th down now, Monty.
Do you bring on Diego Varela? We're looking at not an easy field goal situation, but it is in the middle of the field. When Danny Green took the ball there, they did run to the middle of the field just in case to give them a look at it. So the ball spotted in the middle, not on a hash. Clock is rolling at 5:27. South Oak Cliff in the lead, 7-6. It's 4th down and 3.
And they're keeping the offense on the field.
No indication.
What if they try to draw them off?
I would imagine that's the first option. William Little is going to throw it out right side. A low throw. I don't see a flag, but it is a catch. Ricky Evans may have made the catch of the year as South Oak Cliff has picked up the first down on 4th down and 3. It was a low throw, but Evans was able to go down and get it and scoop it up off the turf. If it were the NFL, they'd be reviewing this thing.
Wow.
William Little. Handoff up the middle. Danny Green skirting forward inside the 10 to the 9-yard line. And all of a sudden, South Oak Cliff has all the momentum.
Yeah, they got that first down. Now I think they're starting to – they're going to take their time, and momentum's on their side, and it's theirs to lose now. I mean, they're inside the 10-yard line, getting a push up front on that with that offensive line. If they can't score, it's going to be close enough to where Diego Varela can come in and kick the field goal.
William Little in the gun. Ball at the 9. Snap back. Danny Green up the middle. Fights to the 7. Gain of 2. Maybe to the 6.
Hand off to number 21. Brought down by number 21.
And they will. Let's see. The line judge says the 6, and they will spot it there. 2nd down and 6. 3:53 left to go in the game. South Oak Cliff is in control right now. If they're able to win, they'll play Port Neches
Grove.
At AT&T Stadium a week from tonight.
Port Neches Grove defeated Liberty Hill tonight.
3:35 left to go in the game here. South Oak Cliff knocking on the door. Handoff. Danny Green to the 1-yard line. The Golden Bears could be 1 yard away from punching their ticket to AT&T a week from tonight. And they'll close the roof there with no fog. But here, there's 2 yards to go.
It was almost good that Danny Green didn't score on that one because you get the ball, you got a first and goal, and now the clock can continue to run.
You'd almost want to do that again. But points are the most important. And William Little will hand off to Danny Green, who surges forward on the left side of the offensive line, and he's in. Touchdown South Oak Cliff. With 2:53 remaining in the game, they extend their lead 13-6, awaiting the PAT. And it's a big PAT.
Green got that handoff, went around behind the left guard, left tackle, and just able to just dive his way across the goal line to get that touchdown. And now South Oak Cliff get this touchdown, get this extra point, and Argyle's going to need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it.
Diego Varela, who's been so clutch all season long, on for the PAT. It's up. It looks good. And it is good. South Oak Cliff with an 8-point lead, 14-6 with 2:53 remaining in the game. We're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back right after this.
Serving the Allen area since 1962. Rodenbaugh's Flooring, America Kitchen, Bed and Bath won't sell it if we can't service it. We have the names you trust. Whirlpool and KitchenAid appliances, plus Sealy and Tempur-Pedic mattresses, along with Whirlpool and Maytag washers and dryers. We finance and deliver. Our showroom is located at 102 West Main Street in Allen. Details online at rodenbaughs.com. You've got the hometown advantage with Rodenbaughs.
Founded in 1990, the DeBerry Funeral Directors, located at 2025 West University Drive in Denton, offer traditional services to cremations or anything in between. The Bill DeBerry family provide ongoing pre-planning and pre-need services, making the life transition smoother. Details are available online at DeBerryFuneralDirectors.com.
What a ball game we have here at Crowley ISD Multipurpose Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas. Monty Walker along with Justin White, who's headed down to the sidelines for post-game interviews. Lance Sandmillen will step in his spot. He's doing stats tonight. The scoring drive recap for South Oak Cliff, 16 plays. My goodness. 9 minutes and 1 second off the clock. It went 95 yards. Is that right? 95 yards?
No, that's
75.
That's my riding, 75.
16 plays, 75 yards, which is just about equally as impressive. 9 minutes and 1 second off the clock, as we mentioned. Danny Green scores from 1 yard out. He was the lead dog on that. Just at some point during the and by the way, that makes it 14-6 after the Varala PAT. It's an 8-point game. At some point during that drive, I kept wondering, you've got to be able to stop throwing the football. Although the biggest play of the game perhaps was the catch by Ricky Evans on the 4th and 3. What an amazing reception that was to keep the drive alive.
I thought he was going to get a flag. He got drilled in the back early. And I thought they were going to throw a flag on Argyle for hitting him, but he comes up with a catch. So that's all they cared about. What a game.
Don't forget to stay tuned to our Nelson Law Group PC postgame show coming up. What a game it's been. 14-6. South Oak Cliff appearing to be heading back to AT&T Stadium. You don't want, you never want to say, you don't want to jinx them or anything like that.
No.
But everybody always remembers the John Tyler game. Right?
Right. Oh, yeah. Yeah, kick it
Is
here.
that Plano East?
East.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was actually showing that to my wife the other night.
Yeah, what a game that was. Here's the kick by South Oak Cliff and Varala. It'll be, I think it's going to be taken at the 15. And a great tackle. A great tackle on the return man. Jaquan Felton was taken down inside his 20. And actually at the 15-yard line. Outstanding tackle.
I love kickoff teams because there's always about 9 guys out there that aren't getting a chance to get in the game except for right there, and they're going to make the most of it. That's a great play.
It really was. And it on the tackle for South Oak Cliff on that play. Let's give him his due. It was Taylor Starling. I mean, he's headed to Colorado. And showed why right there. Argyle on the field on offense.
On the middle.
John Gailey wants to throw. He's got a wide open man in the middle of the field. Still going to the 40-yard line of South Oak Cliff, and that's a big reception. And on the catch was Krzyzak, his favorite target tonight. And the ball will be spotted on the right hash. Now Argyle's 40 yards away with 2:42 left to go in the game. That's the biggest play of the night for Argyle.
Biggest play by anybody tonight. Got a man down. South Oak Cliff does.
John Gailey just dropped back through it right in the middle of the field. There's a CISD in the middle of the field that stretches from each 42 to the other 42. And Krzyzak caught it on about the D of CISD from our vantage point and raced across the middle of the CISD down to about the 42-yard line at the beginning of the C. So a big gainer there. 2:42 left to go in the game. 14-6. South Oak Cliff in the lead. 1st and 10 for Argyle. So we come back to play. 2 receivers near side, 1 up top. Gailey wants to throw again. Krzyzak made the catch. He skips out of a defender, and now they're going to say he was down. They're going to say his knee was down. Krzyzak thought he got out of it, but apparently his knee must have touched the ground when he tried to spin out of a tackle. Ball will be spotted at the 34-yard line. The replay is very close. Gailey wants to throw right side. That one is going to be no, that one's a complete pass again to the 25-yard line. So now that Argyle has gone to the passing game, it's starting to open things up for them, and all of a sudden they're in striking distance.
They are.
At the 25-yard line, going quickly. Gailey wants to throw again, left side. All alone in the end zone, and it falls incomplete as he overshot Wayne Pritz a yard deep in the end zone. That would have been 6.
That's where the quarterback's eyes got about as big as around his saucers, how wide open he was, and overthrew him.
1:54 on the clock, and that would have at least got him a chance to tie the game. You give it to Pritz. He dove for it. He went all out for it. Gailey wants to throw right side, flushed down to the pocket. Now he's going to be sacked back at the 29-yard line. And guess who it is? It's the sack leader, Billy Walton, with his 17th of the year.
I know it's impossible, but there is a flag down right there at the 28-yard line. Offensive holding.
It's a decline penalty.
Yep.
And they'll spot it. The ball will now be spotted at the 28-yard line, and Argyle has called a timeout. And we're going to take one, too. It's 14-6. I'll tell you what, let's keep it here, Lance. I think we've run through our sponsors. We're good. What I can do is read through our sponsors. Tonight's game is being broadcast live at TexasSportsProduction.com. Millennium Sports wishes to thank our broadcast sponsors, Build-A-Berry Funeral Directors of Denton, Rodenbaugh's Flooring America Kitchen, Bed and Bath of Allen, Nelson Law Group PC of Flower Mound, the Dallas Independent School District, Joseph Paul Homes of Fairview, booklet Walking Through the Valley of Grief by author James C. Bivens, available now on Amazon, Harris Rating Weekly of Corinth. 1:46 remaining in the game. South Oak Cliff up 14-6 here in at Crowley. And this is quite a new stadium, Lance Van Millen. If we could just see if they could keep the fog out of here.
That's impossible tonight.
So Argyle facing a third. Is that really right? Is it 3rd and 14? I thought they just changed it. 3rd and 14. Moving right to left towards the north end zone. 29 yards away from trying to tie the game. They're down by 8. Gailey wants to throw. In trouble again. It's going to be sacked again. Progress will take him to the 35, but South Oak Cliff is doing a dance. And that's Cortland Kidd.
Well, they pinned their ears back, came after him there. Just got that 4-man front and brought an extra linebacker up and just come after him. That's all they needed.
It's 4th down, and South Oak Cliff smells blood. Argyle on their toes and on their heels, rather. 35 yards away, and it's 4th and 20. If you've got a trick bag right here, it's time to pull that sucker out.
It sure is.
The first day in August, and the last play right here, perhaps. It all comes down to this. You report to athletics. It depends on when you do the spring ball stuff, but when you first show up and you first put that helmet on, you dream of next week at AT&T Stadium. That's the goal. That's always the goal, and especially of these powerhouse teams like Argyle and South Oak Cliff. And it all comes down to maybe this play right here. There's 1:32 left to go in the game. South Oak Cliff in the lead, 14-6. The final countdown is the song playing in the background, and that is very ironic. 4th and 20 for Argyle. John Gailey, empty back. He's all alone. Rolls out right. He's on the move. Wanting to heave it down. He's going to be trapped in the back. I think he got it away. He was hit as he threw. Is there a flag down? I can't tell, but it appears like South Oak Cliff may have turned them away. But, again, we can't see the field if there's a flag, but no one's reacting as if there's a flag. And Argyle comes off the field. There's a minute 23 left, and now the scoreboard, the video replay shows an incomplete pass as Gailey one-hopped his receiver there. He was trying to hit Wayne Pritz, and he just skipped it in. And now South Oak Cliff has the football at their own 34-yard line, moving left to right, trying to finish this sucker out. A minute 23 left to go in the game. They have an 8-point lead. 14-6, they get in victory formation. Taking a knee is William Little, and their eyes are on Arlington.
Not taking any chances, are they? Just go to the knee early and let's get it done. Run that clock down. South Oak Cliff. Wise decision.
Wow. At one point, not too long ago, you thought the game was going to be turned, as Argyle was at the 1-yard line, about to punch it in. And a false start brought the ball back. Instead of having it at the 1, they had it at the 6, settled for a field goal. And the game changed there. And the Golden Bears of South Oak Cliff take the knee. They start to celebrate.
That's it.
That's it. Dallas, your South Oak Cliff Golden Bears are headed back to AT&T Stadium and headed back to the state championship. Go nuts, Dallas. Congratulations to Coach Jason Todd and the South Oak Cliff Golden Bears.
Little props to Argyle. Jumped to class, and what'd they do? Got after it, got all the way to this ball game right here.
They were the 4A Division I state champions only 2 years ago. South Oak Cliff poses in the end zone for a picture as they all run down to the south end zone. And now they sprint back to the middle of the field as they've got to get in line to shake hands. But they had a complete photo op as they were all sitting on the ground. 14-6, South Oak Cliff wins and will be headed to the state championship for the second year in a row. And we're now into the Nelson Law Group PC postgame.
Well, I would have lost money. I would not have thought such a defensive battle would ensue tonight.
Yeah, I think all of us were thinking 30s to 20s, something like that is what we all kind of thought. Tonight's game is being broadcast live at TexasSportsProduction.com. Millennium Sports wishes to thank our broadcast sponsors, Build-A-Berry Funeral Directors of Denton, Rodenbaugh's Flooring America Kitchen, Bed, and Bath of Allen, Nelson Law Group PC of Flower Mound, the Dallas Independent School District, Joseph Paul Homes of Fairview, booklet Walking Through the Valley of Grief by author James C. Bivens, available now on Amazon, and Harris Rating Weekly of Corinth. Justin White is down on the sideline. He'll jump in whenever he gets a chance with head coach Jason Todd. He'll end up talking to Todd Rogers as well from Argyle eventually. Your scoring drive summary for tonight brought to you by Dewberry Funeral Directors. South Oak Cliff got on the board first at the 5:18 mark in the first quarter as they went 10 plays and 74 yards.
Yes.
With 4:13, took 4:13 off the clock. Javon Thomas scored from 29 yards out, and that got us our first score of the night, 7-0 after the Diego Varela PAT. Argyle then scored the next points of the game, which was 3:09 in the third. We went to the half 7-0, but 3:09 into the third, it was a Carter Buxton 27-yard field goal that ended an 8-play, 28-yard drive that took 3:03 off the clock. And our new score was 7-3, South Oak Cliff in the lead. Argyle in the fourth quarter with 11:52 to go in the game looked like they were.
Tyler, Coach, you gutted this one out. Talk a little bit about this win and what this means to you, and how the resiliency of your team here in the second half.
South Oak Cliff football. Our defense has been rock solid for years, and you know they didn't just give them a touchdown just because they had good field position. And what happened is we touched the soles of that offensive line going into that last drive, and it just shows our ability. Our kids in key moments, and those guys answered the call on that drive and gave it back to the defense.
Coach, you've been very vocal about urban area schools and trying to bring attention to show that, hey, you can win at the Dallas ISD type schools that are in the urban areas. What is this win and the success you continue to have for that message you're trying to bring to everybody, especially minority coaches, that, hey, you can win here. It's not just about the suburban schools.
Yeah. The number one thing is, like I tell guys all the time, we making history in the present. Everything we doing is history right now. So, you know, at the end of the day, if you believe in it and you're willing to commit and put the work in, you know, anything is possible. But at the end of the day, it's only one Mecca.
Great game, Coach. We'll see you here at AT&T next week.
Yes, sir. We're going to turn it out, too.
Let's do it. All right, guys, I will try to find our players of the game. We said Malik Muhammad, the cornerback, and
there you go.
Some linemen. So I'll see if I can locate those guys here in a second. I'll hop on.
Great job, Justin. That interview with Coach Todd is brought to you by Dallas ISD. Let's finish our Dewberry Funeral Director's scoring summary. And in the fourth quarter with 11:52 left to go in the game, we thought the game was going to change, as Argyle had a chance to take the lead in this football game. They got to the 1-yard line and looked like they were about to do it. However, a false start brought them back, and they settled for a field goal, which ended up being a 24-yarder by Carter Buxton. And instead of taking the lead, they had a 1-point deficit, 7-6. And that's where everything really changed and gave South Oak Cliff the opportunity to stay in this football game, and that they did. And they went on an unbelievable 16-play drive at the end of the game and punched it in with 2 minutes and 53 seconds left to go in the game. They ended a 75-yard drive on that 16 plays and took an unbelievable 9 minutes and 1 second off the clock. Danny Green scored from the 1-yard line, and that virtually sealed the game for South Oak Cliff. You know, Argyle made one last push, and they had a chance to really make some noise at the end of the game, but once it came down to it, it was that defensive line for South Oak Cliff that said, no. Okay, you're going to be able to maybe throw the ball down the field a couple of times, but if you're going to drop back and hang back there for a while, you're going down. And that's what happened at the end of the game. 2 huge sacks, one by Billy Walton and the other by Cortland Kidd, really put the heat on John Gailey and ended the season for the Argyle Eagles. And they end their year at 14-1, 1 game shy of the big dance. In the meantime, South Oak Cliff is headed back to the land of milk and honey in Texas high school football at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Just Lance Sandmillan.
I'm fine. I was actually wondering if Justin, I know he's down there hunting, if you wanted to give some final stats real quick. We'll wait for Justin to find his players of the game.
Well, that was the Dewberry Funeral Director's scoring summary. Yeah, let's go over the Dewberry Funeral Director's stat board if you can.
Okay, real quick, South Oak Cliff finishes with 13 first downs, Argyle 10. Total yards by both teams, South Oak Cliff 215 yards, Argyle 188. And passing tonight, total yards, South Oak Cliff 88, Argyle edged it there with 101 yards. Out of yards per pass, it was actually just a little bit. South Oak Cliff had that 5.1 we were talking about. That's all they needed for that key first down there at the end. Rushing yards tonight, South Oak Cliff 127 yards, Argyle 87. Penalties tonight, South Oak Cliff 6 for 34 yards, Argyle 4 for 27 yards. And then the big hit there that could have been.
Guys, I got Michael Norda Stoker, one of the offensive linemen. We don't give players the game very often, the offensive line, but it felt like in that fourth quarter y'all were starting to kind of get a big push up there and kind of make ways for guys like Danny Green and Tedrick Williams. Talk about your offensive line.
It was adjustments we had to make coming out. It was a lot of things we didn't see before. There was a lot of big people we didn't go against before. It was a great team, but we had to make adjustments toward the fourth quarter. We had to just come out and just adjust to stuff we haven't seen before. That's all I can say. We just had to adjust and come on, drop our nuts.
How was the fog any kind of effect on y'all?
Probably in the throwing game, but I don't think so. We overcame everything. Like we gonna do that regardless. We gonna overcome. So it didn't play a bigger part, too much of a part.
All right, you're returning back to AT&T Stadium, second year in a row. How's that feel?
It feels real good, but the job ain't finished. We got to win next week. That's how I feel about it.
All right. Thanks. We'll see you next week at AT&T.
Yes, sir. Glad to have you.
All right, guys. I will try to find Malik Muhammad, our other player of the game, here in just a few minutes. I'll let you know.
That interview with Norda Stoker is brought to you by Harris Ratings Weekly. He is one of our players of the game. Malik Muhammad will be our Nelson Law Group player of the game, and that'll be coming up in just a moment. You want to finish the stat board?
Real quick, the team stat that could have been 2 turnovers for South Oak Cliff turned into points for Argyle, but both were field goals. That could have been a major change. They could have put something in there for a touchdown if Argyle could have. South Oak Cliff passing tonight, William Little, 11 completions on 17 attempts for 88 yards. He did have the 2 interceptions. Argyle passing, John Gailey, 6 completions for 101 yards, no interceptions, no touchdowns. South Oak Cliff rushing, Javon Thomas, 7 carries, 57 yards. Danny Green, 17 carries, 50 yards. Each of them had a touchdown tonight. Tedrick Williams finished 11 carries for 34 yards. Argyle rushing, R.J. Bunnell, 16 carries, 56 yards. Jacob Robertson, 11 carries, 51 yards. Landon Ferris, 3 carries for 5. And receiving for South Oak Cliff, Corinthian Coleman, he had those 3 catches for 41 yards we talked about, big play catches. Joshua Manley, 3 catches for 29 yards. Argyle receiving, Will Kazerziak for 4 catches, 65 yards. He had the biggest play of the game out there in the middle of the field, a 41-yard reception. Wayne Pritz, 1 catch, 27 yards. And that is your total stats for the game.
South Oak Cliff will play Port Neches next week at AT&T Stadium as they won 42-14 over Liberty Hill. And that will be a 6:20 airtime from AT&T Stadium here with Millennium Sports on Texas Sports Productions. You've got Studio 42 crew here tonight. Monty Walker along with Justin White. Lance Sandmillan joining us this evening.
We had a great time.
It's been fun. A great game. It's just, it's been a great game. The only bad thing about this whole game was the fog. If you could take the fog away, it would have been a perfect game. But what a night it was for South Oak Cliff. And, Argyle, you got to feel for them. There's a lot of seniors that have played in their final football game. You think about guys like Riley Van Poppel and Hunter Sandifer. We're talking about 9 seniors that start on defense for Argyle. And another 5 that start on offense for the Eagles. So, Grant Mirabal headed to OSU, and what a great player he is. Just so many outstanding players. Michael Madry headed to Boise State. And but on the other side, you've got South Oak Cliff with another game to go. That was your stat board by Dewberry Funeral Directors.
Although Justin's going to find this man down there. They're starting to spread out, and it gets worse if you get 20 yards from somebody.
Can we agree that this is the worst Christmas song that we've ever heard?
Pretty bad.
Justin's going to try to interview Argyle coach Todd Rogers. Thank you. Somebody heard us. That's going to be brought to you by the Nelson Law Group, if he's able to do so. Again, we just heard from Norda Stoker, brought to you by Harris Ratings Weekly and Nelson Law Group, when Malik Muhammad will be able to be interviewed. I had a chance to visit with Malik Muhammad a year ago. What a great young man, fine young interview he was. And I got a brother hug from a lot of them over at their practice a year ago. So fine young kids, young men, I should say, at South Oak Cliff. And I got my weekly
selfie with Coach Todd.
There you go.
So apparently that's a thing now. We had an outstanding interview with Dr. Sylvia Salinas at the half. And I tell you, it's been a fun night. It's been really fun. You know, the only thing we're really waiting on now is the interview with Justin and Malik Muhammad. We don't really want to go to break because we're waiting on him to pop on. So that's what. But Christmas songs tonight over the PA. Have you ever heard that?
I have not. Not. I guess not really at the football stadium. But it's hard to swallow anyway. Oh, Christmas, boy, that gets me thinking just how far I'm behind on not getting out and getting the gifts.
Let's not talk about that. Yeah, everybody's Christmas gifts are still in my hopes and prayers. One of these days that's going to get done. But again, what a great game it was tonight. South Oak Cliff will be moving on, and we'll play next week at AT&T Stadium with a 6:20 kick, or 6:20 airtime on Millennium Sports and Texas Sports Productions. We'll give you more information about that as we go. Don't forget, tomorrow there's a great game that's going to be broadcasted also. Geyer, you're going to be a part of that one. Talk about that game.
That's going to be a battle. I mean, it's been a battle each week, but Argyle is Denton Geyer, just incredibly in the second half, their adjustments and what they've been able to do and put people away. And so I'm impressed with it, but it seems like it gets tougher each week. We've heard a lot about DeSoto. We've just heard mean and nasty. That's what we've heard, how mean and nasty DeSoto can play. And that's not a bad thing. I'm talking about mean and nasty.
Coach, it fell a little bit short. Wasn't what you wanted, but you played. There's a good team over there. You got a good team over here, too, as well.
Yeah, I thought we did some really good things. We just couldn't string enough of them together and get some points on the board. Our team was very motivated at halftime. They were frustrated, but they weren't mad at each other, and they knew they needed to rise up to be able to, put some points on the board and kicking the 2 field goals and making it a 7-6 game was the strategy that I told them. I said, all right, we'll win it 9-7. I don't care what we do. And then we just tried to we had to get the ball out of their hands down there. And so we ended up letting them score. And just so we could get the offense, and we were able to go down the field and have some throws for the end zone. I don't think you could ask for anything better than that. I wish we'd have executed them and get the 2-point play and tied at 14, but we're just unable to do that.
You got a senior-laden team, especially on that defense. Talk a little bit about your seniors.
The seniors are fabulous. They have. I've been coaching them since the 7th grade. I'm pretty integrated with 7 through 12, and they were goofy little old knock-kneed kids when they were in the 7th grade, and they blossomed into 5 or 6 Division I athletes. So I'm pleased with their performance. They took over this team as they needed to, and I'm very grateful for it.
Thanks for the time, Coach.
Thank you.
That was an interview with Todd Rogers from Argyle, brought to you by Nelson Law Group. Great job by Justin down on the field. Probably unable to get Malik Muhammad, I would presume, but had he done so, that would have been brought to you also by Nelson Law Group. I would imagine Justin's going to make his way up here, and I think he is.
Well, the only you were talking about the game tomorrow. I didn't mean and nasty as in a bad thing with DeSoto. DeSoto's like the mean and nasty football that you want. They get after you, and that's what I was trying to finish off and say before the interview started.
We're going to take a quick timeout because we've got some bills to pay, and we'll be right back on the backside in just a moment.
Nelson Law Group, PC, located at 700 Parker Square, Suite 134 in Flower Mound, offers assistance with family, business law, and estate planning services. Attorney Brett Nelson has over 25 years' experience, and you can reach him at 972-808-7227 or online at nelsonlawgrouppc.com.
Rodenbaugh's Flooring, America Kitchen Bed and Bath of Allen is your kitchen upgrade headquarters, featuring top-rated brands like Amana, KitchenAid, Maytag, and Whirlpool, and beautiful Cambria quartz countertops for the bedroom, Sealy, and Tempur-Pedic beds. A must-see. Rodenbaugh's Flooring such as hand-scraped hardwood, luxury vinyl plank, and tile. Find details online at rodenbaughs.com or in our showroom at 102 West Main Street in Allen. You've got the hometown advantage with Rodenbaughs.
Founded in 1990, the DeBerry Funeral Directors, located at 2025 West University Drive in Denton, offer traditional services to cremations or anything in between. The Bill DeBerry family provide ongoing pre-planning and pre-need services, making the life transition smoother. Details are available online at DeBerryFuneralDirectors.com.
Founded in 2008, Joseph Paul Homes of Fairview, Texas, builds true luxury homes custom designed by Joseph Vastano. Joseph Paul Homes builds all the way from Preston Hollow to Salina, featuring a unique designer's touch in each new home. Details are available at josephpaulhomes.com and on the Joseph Paul Homes Facebook page. The Vastano family proudly supports our local youth in their academic, athletic, and extracurricular endeavors.
Welcome back. We are at Crowley ISD Multi-Purpose Stadium in Fort Worth, Texas. Monty Walker along with Lance Sandmillen and Justin White. It's a 14-6 South Oak Cliff win over Argyle. They'll move on to the state championship a week from tonight. And by this time, a week from tonight, we'll know who the state champion is in Class 5A Division II.
We're going to know a lot of state champions next week.
Yeah, we will. We certainly will. We want to thank Justin White for the interviews down on the field. Tonight's game is being broadcast live at TexasSportsProductions.com. Millennium Sports wishes to thank our broadcast sponsors: Bill DeBerry, Funeral Directors of Denton; Rodenbaugh's Flooring, America Kitchen Bed and Bath of Allen; Nelson Law Group PC of Flower Mound; the Dallas Independent School District; Joseph Paul Homes of Fairview; booklet Walking Through the Valley of Grief by author James C. Bivens, available now on Amazon; and the Harris Rating Weekly of Corinth. We've had a great time tonight in this wonderful atmosphere, except for the fog. It's just been one of those awesome nights. We wait for Justin to get back up here. We've got really two spots to run. What's the biggest part of this game, you think, for South Oak Cliff? I guess the play of the game has to be the 4th and 3 conversion catch by Ricky Evans.
Absolutely.
That has to be the play of the game.
That. Absolutely.
And perhaps maybe we should have gone to him for one of the players of the game, but I didn't think about it. But you can't go wrong with either Malik Muhammad or Norda Stoker. But I'll tell you what, Jason Todd has built something here that's very special, and he mentioned that this is history, and he tells the kids that they're a part of history. One day I wonder if there's, this is the type of situation, if they're going to make a movie about, a football team, South Oak Cliff is one of those stories that they could make a movie about what they're doing here. And Coach Todd would, that's a great character.
Yeah, you start digging into that one, and you said a story. It's going to be a lot of little stories that help get to the big story. There's going to be a lot of things going on.
That is a movie to be made right there. Hey, the selfish part of me, maybe my selfies will make it in that movie. Coach Todd.
Yeah. I just found a quick 0.1 visibility on the way back. So, just letting you know.
We got to be very careful.
Very careful.
Okay. We're going to take a quick time out. When we come back, we're going to wrap this thing up. We'll be right back.
Nelson Law Group PC, located at 700 Parker Square, Suite 134 in Flower Mound, offers assistance with family, business law, and estate planning services. Attorney Brett Nelson has over 25 years' experience, and you can reach him at 972-808-7227 or online at nelsonlawgrouppc.com.
Millennium Sports hopes you enjoy this presentation of Bright Lights Game of the Week football. If you or family, your business, school organization, or church would like to support your team's quest to be best and share history, then contact John Froh, president of Millennium Sports, at 214-642-7003 or email jmfro@att.net. Enjoy the game.
Welcome back. It's Port Natchez next week with at AT&T Stadium versus South Oak Cliff. We plan to see you and the Golden Bears meeting Port Natchez Groves next Friday, December 16th, broadcast live by Millennium Sports at TexasSportsProductions.com with extended airtime beginning at 2:20 Central Standard Time. Kickoff at 3 p.m. I thought it was a 7 p.m. game. Is it not? It's a 6:20 airtime. And a 7 p.m. start. That's the kick, 7 p.m. So my apologies. Credits, South Oak Cliff versus Argyle. I want to thank the Dallas Independent School District Executive AD Sylvia Salinas, South Oak Cliff head coach Jason Todd, Dallas ISD Media Coordinator Todd Lamb, Argyle Eagles head coach Todd Rogers, the Texas Sports Productions, Bobby Stotzenberger and Jay Riley, IT Support Kevin Evans and Jay Marino, DFW Media, DallasNews.com, Fort Worth Star-Telegram, Denton Record Chronicle, Millennium Sports President John Froh, play-by-play Monty Walker, color analyst Justin White, spotter Malin Walker, the statistician Lance Sandmillan. The South Oak Cliff and Argyle UIL State Semifinal football game as written and produced and directed by John Froh and Millennium Sports Network, copyright 2022. Don't forget, join us next Friday and Saturday for the 6A Division II and 5A Division II UIL State Championship games live from Cowboy Stadium in Arlington. For information on future Millennium Sports Playoff game broadcasts, visit at MSN on TSP on Twitter. Join us next week for the state championship game, Class 5A Division II, beginning with a 6:20 p.m. airtime in 6A Division II at 2:20. For everyone who's been a part of this one, including Justin White, Lance Sandmillan, I'm Monty Walker. So long, everybody.
You've been listening to Millennium Sports' presentation of South Oak Cliff Golden Bears UIL 5A Division II State Semifinal Football. Millennium Sports wishes to thank our broadcast sponsors: Bill DeBerry Funeral Directors of Denton, Nelson Law Group PC of Flower Mound, Rodenbaughs of Allen and Ronald Rodenbaugh, the Athletic Department of Dallas ISD, the booklet Walking Through the Valley of Grief by author James C. Bivens, available on Amazon, Joseph Paul Holmes of Fairview, and Harris Ratings Weekly of Corinth and Van Harris. Join us again next Friday and Saturday for UIL 5A Division II and 6A Division II championship games. For updates on Millennium Sports broadcasts, visit MSN on TSP on Twitter. Thanks for listening and drive safely. This is the Millennium Sports Network.